Was good, everybody? You have found your way back to WoT In Color, the dopest Black women-hosted podcast, and still, for the preeminent Wheel of Time series, I am, of course, Keba.
And I am Shar.
Jumbo,
my sister.
how are you?
I'm thirsty.
Thirsty?
Yeah,
Take a sip of water. We don't appreciate parchedness or dryness over here. We like to be well hydrated and moisturized so that we can converse clearly with each other. She took a huge sip, so that's why I rambled for the last 15 seconds, I guess. How was your week?
My week was very busy.
Yeah.
As weeks are.
Yes.
And we're about to be even more busy.
Why? Tell them.
Because...
Oh, let me get my air horns. Why did I make gun signs?
Y'all should see her. She got her fingers pointed in the air like they're guns. Oh my gosh.
I don't know how to make an air horn with my fingers.
Before we talk about why we're going to be busy, we need to let the people know that we do have
our other sister is in the building.
Our other sister is here again for the second week in a row. She was with us last week and she is back. The wonderful, beautiful CallMeNakomi.
The one and only.
Hello. Keba, don't kill them. Please, Keba, don't kill them.
Slow down, son. You killing them.
Yeah.
She pulled out the glizzy like
both of them.
Like, stop the violence. Like,
I don't know what that was even about.
Good?
About to peek these mics out real quick.
Right.
Which is crazy. I've never shot a gun in my life. I've never held one, and I'm just over here like I've never been to a gun range. Nothing.
I can manage that.
Out of you.
I can facilitate going to a gun range.
I would absolutely love that. I've been wanting to go for a very long
Oh
time.
yeah, I've been several times.
And I would like to do archery.
That I've never done.
Okay, so that's going to be a WoT In Color field trip.
Archery and the gun range?
Archery and the gun range.
The archery is so apropos for Wheel of Time, I feel like.
Is it?
They talked about at Emmons Field the archery contest and stuff and how Tam always won because he used his flame and void. That's
because he's not from Emmons Field. But anyway.
He is from Emmons.
No, he's not.
Tam. Okay, let's...
Because we don't have the backstory that was supposed to be written.
So just to clarify things for our dear keeper, these are the facts that we know.
Oh, facts. Okay. Facts. Quote unquote. Air quotes.
So
you can't.
And I swear to you, these are facts. These are facts. I'm not trying to. All right.
Because I'm going to get in the Discord. Go ahead.
Okay. So the fact is Tam Althor. And as you will learn, once we visit other countries, names mean a thing. So that's why in Emmons Field, you have the Al this and the Al that, like people's names. Okay. So Tam has a Two Rivers name. Althor is a Two Rivers name. He is from the Two Rivers.
Maybe his parents are.
At some point in his life, as a man, he left the Two Rivers. When he left the Two Rivers, okay, we're only doing facts. He came back with a wife and a baby. Those are the facts.
Okay.
Period.
As per Nynaeve, who was only a child when these things happened.
I'm telling you.
Okay.
I promise you, I'm not trying to steer you.
All right.
Those are the facts that we know at this point.
Tam
is absolutely 100%. I'm not trying to trick you. He is from the Two Rivers.
Okay.
He did leave the Two Rivers, which is different because nobody leaves the Two Rivers.
Right.
And he came back with Carrie Althor and a baby, which Rand is a good name, Carrie.
Yeah. Let's name it Rand.
Althor. Those are the facts. So Tam is from the Two Rivers.
Okay. I'm still waiting on the backstory. Someone has the fanfic backstory, and I would like for you to drop the link in the Discord. WoT In Color, thank you so much. I'll patiently wait for that.
This is all a symptom of reading Wheel of Time. Everybody's a dark friend and trust no one.
Keba don't even trust me anymore. Like, I'm like, Keba, I'm not a dark friend. I'm
your
telling
name
you the
is Shar.
truth.
You got 30 seconds
Shar.
before I'm mountain because pissing me off.
Keba about to mountain on me, and we in the
pissing me
same.
off.
Yo, we in the same room right now.
Listen,
like,
I'll
I'm
turn
wondering
this
if
whole
I'm
thing
safe.
into a cavern. I certainly will.
As they call you.
If Shar is your real name.
If Shar is your real name. Don't call your mama.
Dark friend.
No, don't call Miss Jackie. Do not call Miss Jackie. Don't bring Miss Jackie into this. Call my mama.
Oh,
okay.
No. So we're
Yo,
so
this is why episodes be hella long.
13 hours
Yeah.
long. And y'all be like, I'm so sorry. I'm about 4 episodes behind because I have a life.
Right.
But I promise I'll catch up.
So we appreciate those of you who actually do
Yeah.
listen to the podcast, even though we take 8 years to get to the point.
And then some. Oh, child, we talk too much.
We do talk a lot. That's why I'm so damn thirsty. I'm thirsty from last week was the longest episode to date.
Oh, it was fun.
It was so much
It
fun.
was fun.
It was so much fun. So, all right. So we are in the building with CallMeNakomi again. Always welcome.
That's right.
And by the time this episode drops, if this is WoT Wednesday and you all are listening, guess what WoT In Color is doing tomorrow?
I know.
We're getting on a plane
We're getting on a plane
and we're headed to
with
the
packed
ATL.
bags. Yep. And it won't be first class. I'm sorry, y'all.
Yeah, nah.
It's not first class.
Nope.
It's economy. I'll be very honest with you.
Really is no change.
Listen, I'm good with the window seat. I'm short, so I don't need that much leg room.
Last person to get on the plane. You ain't-
Yeah.
No more overhead compartment
No more.
space
Yup,
left.
it's a forced check bag for
Yep.
us.
Yeah. all of that.
But we're willing to do that.
But we're gonna get there.
We're gonna gladly sit in economy,
Yep.
with our forced check bag and
No Delta Sky Lounge for us.
no Delta Sky. I got Amex, so we might could sneak into
We
something.
can sneak it to somebody's Sky Lounge.
Somebody's.
Yeah.
I'm all
What
about a
airport
lounge
are
now.
we? We'll figure it out.
Yeah, I think
We'll
it's.
figure
I
out.
think it's.
Is it
I think it's the big one. I think it's JFK.
JFK?
Which means
They
we
redid LaGuardia.
they redid it and it looks nice.
And so now JFK is under construction because JFK was like,
God,
word,
right,
LaGuardia, y'all
right.
want to look nice now?
Right,
Let
right. But still,
me be out here
JFK still
looking
the
dumb.
right.
Exactly.
For those of y'all who are not familiar, with New York City has technically 3.
Technically,
Actually, we got a lot of airports.
2.5.
Yes.
Major airports.
Major airports, yeah. So we have LaGuardia Airport, LGA. That was the trashiest airport.
It was real ugly.
for
was.
many years, and it just underwent some renovations. And then our international hub is JFK. That's the airport you'll go through if you're coming from another country. And then also some people try to save some money and fly into Jersey, flying to Newark Airport. I've done that a couple of times.
I have
Just
to.
Because the
I
flights
fly
are
to Newark.
always so much cheaper.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, oh, the cab
I've
fare.
even flown into Westchester County Airport.
Oh, I don't like. No, it's too small.
It's a very small airport.
It's too small for
and they're
me.
usually a little more expensive too.
Yeah,
it's
because
weird.
it's Westchester.
But
That's
it's
where
a
the money resides.
The money does reside in Westchester County. Yeah. So anyway, let's get back to WoT In Color, right?
Yeah. Because while we sit here talking about we gonna be in economy, we might not have to be in economy no more. Because guess what we did? We launched us a Patreon.
We did.
You have asked, we have heard you, and we have provided.
And as a matter of fact, at this moment,
This very moment,
what I would love to do,
do it.
if you all don't mind,
Do it. Do that shit.
I want to.
What she gonna do? What she gonna do? I want to see.
now I gotta make sure this shit sounds all
Do that
spectacular.
shit. Do that shit. Do it.
You done
do
built
that
it
shit.
up.
Do that shit. Do
What we
it.
doing?
Now we wanna thank our patrons.
Yes.
We are, so if you could please just
Stand when you hear your name called.
stand when you hear your name called. No, I just wanna thank everybody for supporting us. We are still coming up with the different tiers and the different benefits of subscribing to WoT In Color as a patron. But in the meantime, we just created the entry level, if you will, the dollar holla.
$1.
Just
holla.
$1 a month, and that is just literally just because you want to support dope black women.
That's right.
And so we appreciate you.
Yes.
So, and please forgive me if I mispronounce anybody's name. Charge it to my head and not to my heart. So shout out to our first set of patrons thus far. Radia Farmer, Koala Sadai, who is hashtag Team WoT In Color.
Yes.
She is our Discord admin extraordinaire.
Oh, this is where the clapping would go.
Yes, if we had clapping sounds.
Clapping.
Shout out to Lumen.
Yes, thank you.
Shout out to More Shady.
Thank you.
Shout out to my boo, Mistress Dovey.
Thank you.
Shout out to my boy, Goat Brother.
You the bomb.
Shout out to my AKA Sans, Melissa J.
Hey, friend.
Sans. Shout out to Miss Key.
Listen to friend, listen to Miss Key.
Shout out to Rob from Weekly Will News.
Hey, Rob.
And shout out to Mr. H.
My Mr. H?
Your Mr. H.
Hey, Dr. H.
Is a patron.
Look at you. Listen, we were at a party the other day, and he's like, y'all know my wife got a podcast? Let me tell y'all about her podcast. He broke it down better than I ever could. I saw, so he's on the team. He's on the team.
And he hasn't read not one lick of Willis.
But he listens to every episode.
I love that.
He's a patron, and he makes sure he tells everybody about WoT In Color. So shout out to you, Dr. H.
Yes, and
you
shout
get
out
something
to all
special
of you.
with your Patreon entry.
Oh, I'm sure.
what?
Sure he does.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Child.
Sure do.
That's TMH Studios After Dark. That's not WoT In Color After Dark.
That's a whole nother level of Patreon right there.
Right.
That's it.
Can't nobody get to that level.
No, that's a special level.
That's a special level. No, but seriously, we really appreciate all of the support, especially with us being a brand spanking new podcast, brand spanking new to podcasting.
Yes.
And you know, the fact that we have so much support out there, it definitely does not go unnoticed.
No.
And we love you all for it.
Yes.
And for those of you who were asking, it's there. Just click the link in our bio. You'll get to it. Please feel free to support us on Patreon. We promise, we are coming up with some things that we think you'll enjoy.
Yes, we have a form out, right?
We do have a Google form out. The link is in this description box for this episode. And please fill out that survey and just let us know what do you want? What do you think you should get? What should be your return on your investment?
Yeah.
You know, and if you want to, in there is some space for free writing. If you want to tell us like how much would you be willing to pay monthly for that specific thing that you're asking for.
Yep. We want to work with you as you work with us as we figure it all out together. So thank you again to all of our first round of Patreon subscribers. We love you. We appreciate you. Most of you, I believe, we'll see at JordanCon.
Oh, we can't wait to see you all.
And we cannot wait to see you
tomorrow.
all. So make sure we'll be at JordanCon starts Friday. We'll be there from Thursday. So.
And I think maybe we might have a special ribbon
Ooh.
for our patrons.
Oh.
We might.
Ooh.
We might.
You hear that?
It's a possibility.
Things.
All depends on the United States Postal Service.
Listen.
Or UPS. I forget who's sending what. But yeah, we might have something special.
Yes.
A special ribbon.
I love that.
We will have ribbons. We will have ribbons, general ribbons, but there's a second ribbon.
Yeah, and then we got other things that are in the pressure cooker that
Yes.
we can't wait to release to you all. Some very special things, some very dope things, as only us dope Black women can do. So a lot of things coming your way that we are excited to release to you. We can't wait to get those things out to you. And we hope you enjoy them because we have had a Wayne Dang
Diddly
of a doodle, all right? Creating these and we've took a lot of time and pride to get them right. And we hope they are to your liking. And again, if they're not, wotincolor@gmail.com. We are always open for all of the suggestions.
definitely hit us up. Also, we did receive an email.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's shout out that gentleman
Let's shout them out.
while we're shouting out. I know we usually do this at the end. We just want to shout out folks who we may not interact with on social media, but still reach out to us via email. We received an email from a gentleman named Kirk Jones of Waynesboro, Georgia. He was basically letting us know that he listens to us and that he loves us and that although he won't be attending JordanCon this year, he has been inspired to attend next year if we're going to be there. And he says he's an old white man from the South, so we have to listen to him. So I thought that was so cute. And he said that WoT In Color is spectacular. It has become one of his favorite podcasts to listen to. And he found us. He became intrigued. He listened and fell in love. And we love you for that, Kirk Jones
Sure
of Waynesboro, Georgia.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much for reaching out. Thank you for listening.
Yes.
And pretty dope of you.
Yeah, keep the emails coming.
Definitely.
You know?
WoTInColor@gmail.com.
Yes.
All right, let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
First of all, how about we're at episode 8?
Whew.
Oh my gosh.
8 of those things.
8 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And today we are going to be looking at chapters 15 and 16.
Mm-hmm.
And chapter 15 is called Strangers and Friends.
Mm-hmm.
And chapter 16 is called The Wisdom.
The one and only wisdom that matters to me.
The
Thank
girl.
you.
That's your girl.
That's my girl.
That's your boo, Nynaeve.
That is my gal.
So just to refresh folks' memories, which I just thought it was so incredibly dope. Back in episode 7, last week, I believe you correctly predicted that Nynaeve was going to catch up.
I believe I did too. Because I'm right most of the time.
Okay.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah. It's an Aries thing, you know.
I mean,
A little bit of
sure.
Virgo in there, you know, just, you know.
Actually, you predicted this 2 episodes ago.
Mm-hmm.
You predicted this in episode 6.
Yeah.
So you knew in episode 6 that Nynaeve was going to catch up to them.
Yep. I didn't know she was going to be so badass about it, but
Here she is.
glad I was pleasantly surprised.
Here she is. All right, so let's do a recap. I was going to say let's do a quick recap.
Let's just do a recap.
Let's just do a recap.
Yeah.
I
We're not
can't
gonna-
speak on the length.
Yes, right.
Yeah, let's. Yeah.
Apologies in advance. Friend, listener, friend, listeners. Apologies in advance. So we ended chapter 14 with Rand waking up from this dream where Beelzebub's cousin twice removed on his daddy's side,
Because they're related.
aka
He's extra
AKA
mad because he never gets invited to the family barbecue either.
never. They never.
always leave his invite.
And when he tries to send potato salad, they don't eat it.
Because it be...
He like, who made the potato
Who
salad?
made it?
Ooh.
Tell
Beelzebub's cousin twice
next
removed.
time, just bring the ice.
Don't even bring the ice. Beelzebub's cousin twice removed on your daddy's side. You could bring the napkins.
You could bring the napkins and the cups, honey. No, you gonna mess up the
You gonna
color
mess up-
scheme because we
you
got
gonna
a
mess up that
theme.
too.
Right.
Just bring the napkins.
Ooh,
So,
you could blow this whole world
Beelzebub's
up. I'm so
cousin
mad.
twice removed on his daddy's side, aka Baalzamon, aka Elon Morin Tendronai,
Ooh, child.
aka Betrayer of Hope, was all up in Rand's dream, broke the back of a rat, all kinds of crazy things. So he wakes up from this dream, and we start chapter 15, Strangers and Friends. The symbol is a sun.
I know what that is.
What is that?
That's the Jerusalem whites.
The
song.
Israelites.
The Israelite whites.
The Israelite white. Last week we declared that from henceforth, the children of the light,
The children of the light,
aka the
yes.
white cloaks, in WoT In Color world,
Yes.
will henceforth be known as the Israelite whites.
That's their
that's
little
their name.
Their little sunburst.
So the sun is a symbol of the Israelite whites. We're still in Rand's head, in his point of view. I know you're waiting to get out.
It's been half the. I mean, come on.
We're still there.
Oh my gosh.
So
Dude, hold on, wait. Do we ever get to jump into
Ray
some?
Foe. Sorry. I've been waiting to say that. That's your second Ray Foe, I believe. We didn't find out.
We're gonna offer video one day because I wish y'all could see the way that I'm staring at
Yo,
her.
let me tell y'all, if looks could kill.
Now,
I'm so glad Keeper can't channel.
Right?
because I
Okay, you don't
wouldn't
know what I
dare.
can do. You don't know what I can't do. All right, shoot.
Yo, Keeper's eyes are daggers right now.
Mm-hmm.
I can name a couple of
you'll find out.
channeling things that she might do to you right now.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I ain't gonna break no rats' backs in your dreams and nothing.
Thank you for
You're
not doing
welcome.
that. Appreciate it.
But I'm not healing you if you get tired.
Oh, snap.
Okay?
She's not
You're
going
just
to
gonna
remove
be
the fatigue.
exhausted. I'm gonna heal everybody but you too. Go ahead.
So there's something that I'd like for you to pay attention to. Mm-hmm. Okay. So he wakes up. He says he's had more dreams. He couldn't remember any of the others, only that first one.
Yeah.
He said that his head still hurts.
Yep.
Okay.
I did note.
You note that
Throughout the entire chapter,
he's had this headache. Okay, great.
that he can't shake. Yep.
I'm glad you're remembering that.
Yes.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. So it's morning, but it's later than what he's used to because,
Did they
farm
sleep the
life.
night away? I'm so sorry. It was right there.
It's morning.
This is why the episode. Okay, keep going. No, keep going.
Shout out to you, Shirley Murdoch.
Okay.
I've been trying
So
to
he
keep
decides-
in with strangers and friends. Myself, I keep thinking,
Tell me again."
Can we be strangers and friends?
Is that Usher?
It's a good look, baby. Really good look, baby.
Who is that? Is that Usher?
Sometimes
Usher.
gonna be your
Usher,
look.
That's
Lil
Usher,
Jon,
right?
and
Okay.
Lil Chris.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Yes.
That
Lil
Usher,
Jon.
John, and Luda had
Oh
to
my
do
God.
it again.
Bite that.
Oh my God. We are awful. I bet you we're like an hour in already.
Yo,
We ain't even start the podcast yet. We
Oh
already,
my
we already like
gosh.
3 hours in. Okay.
I got a Rand headache.
You got-
Oh, I got a Rand.
feels like a balloon. It
Ooh,
feels like a balloon.
right.
All right. So he gets up. He's like, yo, I'm in this city that I've never seen. So should I bring the sword? Should I not bring the sword? Fuck it. I'll bring the sword. So he goes to the kitchen to try to get something to eat. He sees Master Fitch and the cook. They're arguing about the cook's cat. Poor Siri. Basically, there's been some dead rats found with broken backs.
With broken back. 15 of them things?
And they blamed it on poor Siri. And Sarah is the cook. It's like, Siri is a good cat.
She's a good cat.
Siri would never leave her handiwork around. So anyway, she gets Rand some food. She tells Rand that everyone has gone out except one who wasn't feeling well. She tells him, don't even worry about what you saw, that little argument, Siri's a good cat. But Rand is no longer listening because he's like, wait a minute, dead rats with broken backs? So now he's like just disgusted, mortified. So he finishes eating hastily and he's like, I need to talk to somebody. So he goes to the common room and he notices that the common room is huge. So he's not used to, big buildings like this. He's in a city. He said the common room is twice as wide and 3 times as long as the common room of the Wine Spring Inn in Emmons Field. It's very crowded. Tom is performing. Tom is reciting The Great Hunt. And Tom is like, Rand is like, I've heard that. And I can't talk to Tom. So he left. And he said, let me go find whoever is left behind. So it turns out it's Perrin. Perrin wasn't feeling well. And talks to Perrin. And guess what, Keba?
What?
Perrin had the same dream.
Get out.
And guess what else?
His head hurting?
It didn't say that his head was hurting, but you made that prediction. Do you remember?
No. I'm
So
such
you-
a
it
genius,
wasn't-
bro. This is crazy.
So it wasn't like a flat out, this is going to happen. So that's probably why you didn't write it down. You said, I wonder if Matt and Perrin are having the similar dreams, but not saying anything about it. That's what you said.
Look at me.
Look at you.
The
Look
writer
at
is
you.
just jumping out. I'm sorry.
So you just considered it. You didn't flat out say, this is my prediction. I
Right.
think Matt and Perrin had the same dreams. But you was just like, I wonder if they're having the same dreams, but
Yeah.
not say anything. And look at God.
Look at okay. Okay, first of all, I'd like to thank.
Oh, snap. So another notch in Keba's prediction belt. So now they discuss whether they should tell Moraine because this is a big deal. They're both having the same exact dream. And they decide not to because they don't trust Aes Sedai.
Famous last words.
Lord have mercy. So Rand tries to convince Perrin, like, all right, fuck it. Well, we in a city. We ain't never seen a city. Let's go check it out. But Perrin is like, nah, I'm good. And Rand is like, all right, my head is still hurting. My head is still hurting.
He ain't got no BC powder out there.
And it's getting worse. So he has a headache this big and it's got Excedrin written all over it. But he goes out anyway. He ignores it and he goes out anyway. The city is really, really, really crowded. And Rand was just amazed at how so many people can be in one place and they all be strangers.
Welcome to New York City.
Right. And there were also strange city smells. So he changes his mind. He decides not to go all the way out there. But then he's like, I don't want to go back into the inn. So he's just kind of hanging around. Then he hears a woman's voice. And this woman says, a shepherd with a heron-marked sword. Turns out it's Min. The woman who was dressed like a boy, whom Moiraine was talking to, who Rand was being all nosy about. Yep. Like, I wonder who that was. So they start chopping it up. And she basically starts telling Rand what she knows. So Min knows Moiraine and Lan by their real names, Mistress Alice and Master Andra. And so apparently Min has these visions. And Moiraine says that she sees pieces of the pattern. So when she looks at people, she sees these visions. And she can usually tell what these visions mean. So she said she can see two people and she'll know, oh, these people will get married. And then they do. So basically, what Min sees comes to pass.
Very interesting.
But she doesn't always understand what the visions mean. Okay? Moiraine had asked Min to look at the Emmons Fielders for her. And so Min shares what she saw. So let's get into that.
I'm pulling it up now because first of all, I think she talked too doggone much.
She's a little chatty patty.
You're a little chatty patty.
Okay.
I wonder if she's related to a certain peddler.
Pot and Fane. Chatty patty.
Because why? If Moiraine pulls you to the side, right, and says, tell me what you see, and y'all have that discussion, why did you feel the need to go and tell them that she said that she needs to see what I see when I see y'all?
That is very interesting.
That was none of their business.
That's very interesting. She did not hesitate.
Not only did she not hesitate, but she engaged. She started the conversation.
She did. She didn't have to say anything.
She was just like, hey, I know who you are, and I know Moiraine, and I know she's an Aes Sedai, and she was telling me to like, I was just like, she did not tell you to tell them.
Why do you think she did that?
Because she nosy. She's messy, or maybe she's trying to help. Maybe it's a little bit of both. Maybe she's like messy and trying to help. She's a little messy helper.
Okay.
I'm gonna call Min is messy helper.
Messy helper.
Messy helper.
Okay.
I keep wanting to say hamburger helper, but that's not that's not what I'm trying to say. She's a little messy.
Now I'm hungry.
Helper.
Thanks a lot. All right, let's get into Min's visions. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tell you each vision.
Okay.
And I want you to tell me what you think they mean.
Oh, okay. Yay! I love this game.
All right?
Yes.
We're ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So when she sees all of them in a group together,
yes,
she sees sparks swirling around them in a big dark shadow. The shadow is trying to swallow the sparks. And she says that means you're all tied together in something dangerous. So she knows what that means.
Yes.
Do you have anything else to say about that vision?
That is the battle of light and dark.
Okay.
That is, so when I see a big shadow darker than midnight, that gives me images of like, so when you're looking at somebody's aura, and I don't know, I'm about to get in my woo-woo bag again, but when you're looking at somebody's aura and the colors that surround them and the level of protection that they have around them, when I see something that says like a big dark shadow darker than midnight is kind of encompassing somebody, that is like dark negative energy. Something is penetrating the aura to make it kind of dark. And then when I see sparks, that's kind of like, what did she say exactly? When sparks are trying to fill the shadow.
Right.
That is like
trying to swallow the sparks.
Right.
And the shadow is trying to swallow the sparks.
Right. So
the sparks are trying to fill the shadow.
Right. So this is like a back and forth battle between light and dark, where it's like the light is trying to gentle the dark, and then the dark is trying to swallow the light, and it's going back and forth. And I'm going to assume, whatever word we want to use, that whichever way Rand decides to go in his battle is whatever is going to win. So right now it's a very back and forth. Oh, is he going to be consumed by dark? Is he going to be consumed by light?
Okay.
And once he makes his decision, then that is what is going to kind of
prevail.
In that light versus dark energy around him.
So it's all up to Rand, no one else, even though she says they're all tied together in something dangerous.
I think for right now, I'm going to say...
So in other words, do any of the other people's choices matter in this regard?
Well, I feel like because they're so closely connected to him, that they have some sway over him. Like they have some like level of persuasion that can help him go one way or the other. Kind of like how your friends are like, let's go, do hood rat shit with our friends. And if you're not strong enough in your foundation to say, I don't want to do that, I'm going to walk towards the light, you'll go into the dark with them. Right. And so I think it's kind of the same thing where the people that are around him, it's his two best friends, it's the girl that he loves, right? And it's this Aes Sedai in water that he has no real connection to that we're aware of right now.
Other than they saved his pop's life, the lives of everyone at Emmonsfield.
Right. So
saved them from imminent danger.
Right. And I don't want to diminish that.
Right.
But if I'm in Rand's mind, right, because that's where we are in chapter 15. I'm so sick of it. I'm sick of it.
You're a little annoyed that we're still there.
Oh my gosh. I just want to think about Egwene for 1 second. I just want to be in Egwene's mind.
You want to know what she's thinking?
Because you chose this life.
What about Nynaeve?
Would you like to life didn't choose you. You chose it.
Would you like to be in Nynaeve's head?
Absolutely. Because then I get to see why their block is there.
Here we go with this block. Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm sleeping on that hill.
Okay.
That's where my flag is planted.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah. So I think when I'm looking at Rand and I'm looking at the group, it's his two best friends and it's the girl that he clearly loves and wanted to marry. Those are the three, aside from his father, right? Those are the three biggest people that have the biggest influence on him.
Okay.
And so they have a lot of persuasion over which way, he tilts towards dark or light.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
The next thing she says is that, well, you kind of touched this anyway, that Egwene and the Gleeman are part of it. So what about the Gleeman?
I don't know about Tom. I don't know about him yet. Okay. I don't know. He's probably an uncle.
He's an uncle?
I bet you. Of some kind.
You mean he's literally somebody's uncle?
I bet you he's related to Rand in some way.
Okay.
Or they're from the same tribe or something.
So they all need to submit DNA to Ancestry.com.
And listen,
or 23andMe or somebody.
Put a little spit in a little vial. You send it out to, I don't know, Tarvalon is where they're processing all of that.
Ye old cotton swab.
Right? Not ye old cotton swab.
She said ye old cotton. Oh my God.
So
I'm
yes,
screaming.
Just right in the inner cheek, I don't know.
Okay.
That was a wild,
okay.
Line, but yeah. So.
All right. So we'll get back to Tom.
Yeah,
because there's a vision about Tom also. So
okay,
we'll get back to that when we get to that one.
Yes.
Okay. So the next thing she says is Egwene loves Rand, but not in the way they both want. What do you think about that?
So hold on. Where is that? I'm looking for the exact quote because I have it somewhere.
It's in the beginning of her when she starts talking about it.
Probably have a different page.
Yeah, hold on. Let me look at my book.
She does. Her page is different because her book has the Raven's prologue in it.
I have it highlighted. I just didn't want people to hear this, but since we're here, all right. So she said, and I made note of this. Oh, come on. I know I made note of this. Maybe I didn't make note of this. Maybe I made note of it in my head. But it was something to the effect of, you love her, and she loves you, but y'all are not meant to be together in that way. And I thought that was very interesting because, here are two people who were like playing fiddlesticks with each other since they were like...
since they were 5.
Yeah, since they were like betrothed to be together. And I thought it was great that, how can I say this, that he got that confirmation, even though he's not going to do anything with it because he's stubborn as fuck and he's fighting darkness. And, he wants what he wants. He's a boy, right? But I would love to see what Egwene would do with that information. Because she likes Rand, and, if it came down to it, yeah, he could tickle her titties. Sure, yes. But But she's also
might
very
oblige him.
headstrong. Right, she might oblige. She might just be like, hey, take the left one. It's fine.
I was gonna say she'll say
It's not
take
being
one
used
titty.
right
You
now.
don't gotta tickle both my
Don't
titties.
take them both, but
Just
you can take one.
Stop being selfish.
Oh my god!
Right.
Lazy.
Stop being greedy.
But yeah, but I feel like she would be more receptive to that information and be more focused. Because I think also a lot of
Because
her,
she has goals, right?
exactly
And aspirations, and
Right.
being a farm wife
Yes.
is not one of those goals or aspirations for her. So I see. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah. So I feel like she would hear that and be like, "Oh, so it's
So that
it's
explains
not a
it.
thing?
Right.
Okay, bet. So when we get to Tarvalon, I'm gonna let him down easily,
Right.
and then I'm gonna go about my business.
Right.
Yes.
Trying to become an Aes Sedai.
Yes.
All right. So she also still speaking about Egwene. She says when she looks at Egwene, she sees the same thing that she sees when she looks at Moiraine,
Woo wee.
and that Egwene won't refuse it.
I like that.
What does that mean?
That means
Keba?
she's finna be an Aes Sedai.
Okay. Now we move on to Lan. When she sees Lan, she sees 7 ruined towers around his head. What do you think that's about?
7 ruined towers.
And it's okay if you don't know. We can move on to anything that you don't
I'm
know.
gonna take a guess here.
Okay.
Because there's been mention of a white tower where the Aes Sedai live, right? I'm not making
That's
that up.
one tower. Yes.
That's one tower. So that means if there's a white tower and that's one tower, that means there are other colored towers scattered somewhere across this map. And
Okay.
there are probably 6 of them. And so I feel like Lan is holding on to some historical thing that is affecting him in some way.
Okay.
Yes.
Also, when she looks at Lan, she sees a babe in a cradle holding a sword.
Oh, wait, did I miss that? I think I missed that. A babe in a cradle holding. Land's his pappy.
Land is
Rand's pappy.
Land is Rand's pappy.
Yes.
Ada pappy.
He's a pappy.
Ada pappy.
This makes sense. Yes.
Land got
Yes.
holes. Different area codes.
He's been all up and through all of them towers. All 7 of them.
All 7 towers. He's been spreading his seed.
They ruined. They're ruined.
And they ruined.
Wee.
All right. We will add that to the prediction board.
Okay, yeah.
So we move on to Tom.
Yes.
So when she sees Tom, she sees a man who's not Tom juggling fire. So we know Tom is a gleeman. He can juggle things.
Yeah.
But there's somebody juggling fire and it's not Tom.
That's hard because what does the man look like? Is he older? Is he younger? How does she know it's not him?
And we don't really know a lot about Tom yet.
We don't know a lot about Tom. So we see the juggling fire and we see the white tower.
And we also see the White Tower.
And it don't make no sense to her, so it don't make no sense to me.
Okay. Let's move on. When she looks at Perrin, she sees a wolf. Any ideas on why she would see a wolf?
I don't know. Maybe that's his spirit animal. No offense to our native listener, friend listeners, but maybe that's his like
Perrin's
channeling.
spirit animal is a wolf. Okay.
Yeah.
She also sees a broken crown.
Is Master Luhan his daddy?
No.
Right. So he's been adopted by the
No, he
No.
was apprenticed.
He was apprenticed.
He has his family.
So why don't
His
we hear anything
parents-
about his family?
Because when you are apprenticed to someone, you, for all intents and purposes, you live there.
Right.
So his farm is not in Emmonsville. His farm is similar to how
Rand and
Tam's farm were out. So his farm is not like in the village proper, like right there. So
okay.
That's why we didn't really see. He has family,
Okay.
parents, siblings.
Yeah.
If you remember in the Ravens prologue,
Yeah.
when they were making his father
yes,
was
and the
talking to Master
sisters.
Luhan, his sisters were there.
Yeah.
And they were making a deal and
Yes.
saying, yeah, we'll let Perrin apprentice with you under
I
you.
remember that. Okay.
And so if you're working on a forge, that's an all-day job.
Yeah.
You can't go home every night
Yeah.
because you got to get there early.
So he was practically raised by Master
he was
Luhan.
he was practically raised by the Luhans but he still has his family.
Yes. Okay. Right.
Yeah.
I forgot. Okay. So I have no idea what this broken crown or the trees flowering.
Okay.
mean.
Yeah, that was the third one. Trees flowering all around him. All right, Matt. Your favorite character.
Oh, I just love him to death. To death. To his last breath, I love him.
Please.
Just want to squeeze him till he pops. Just, ooh.
And call him George.
Call him George.
I love you. Squeeze you and hold you and call you George. Oh my God.
Well, that was so many throwbacks right there.
Oh my God. We are telling our ages. Let me stop doing that. I gotta start pretending I'm like a what generation are we in? Z?
I'm like millennials. I don't know.
We got real nostalgia. I'm sorry.
Okay. So she sees quite a few things when she looks at Matt. One thing that she sees is a red eagle.
Okay. No.
Okay, let me jog your memory.
Okay.
When Maureen was telling the story of Manetheren back when they were in Emmons Field.
Yeah.
Manetheren's banner, aka flag, is a red eagle.
Well, they're all direct descendants, right?
Well, they're all from Manetheren, yeah.
Yeah.
So why does she see the red eagle specifically with Matt? She doesn't see that with anybody else.
That's very interesting. It's probably because I don't know.
Okay.
It's more than likely.
We'll put a pin in it.
It's definitely because I don't know.
Okay. She sees an eye on a balance scale.
Oh my gosh. Hold on. I'm just going to say it's a red eagle. It's an eye on a balance scale, a dagger with a ruby, a horn, and a laughing face.
So the reason why I'm doing them one at a time, and I'm saying this because I know.
Yeah.
Each item doesn't have anything to do with the other.
Oh, okay. So
That's
let's
why
try that again.
That's why I'm not grouping them.
Got you. Okay, let's try that again. So these are all individual.
These are individual visions that she sees when she looks at.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I've been doing it that way.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Gosh. All right. This is a lot.
So,
okay.
Red eagle, that's one thing.
Yeah.
Eye on a balance scale. What could that be?
I feel like, that gives me like the scales of justice, right? Even though I'm trying to remember what they look like. Are they balanced? It's balanced, but the lady is blind or something like that, right? Like our justice scales. Mm-hmm. So it's giving me like Matt is, he's going to be some kind of
Did you just vomit?
did. Listen, if and when we ever get into Matt's brain, I'm skipping. It's going to be 1, 2, skip a few, 99, 100. I can't.
Okay.
I cannot. An eye on a balance scale, probably it gives me the energy that he's gonna be some kind of justice equalizer for the group. He's gonna be some kind of he's gonna be a voice of reason. This immature. Anyway. All
right, so let's move on. A dagger with a ruby.
So this is the interesting thing, right? And this is what made me go ooh. A dagger with a ruby. I don't know about the ruby, right? But when I see dagger, just like in my writer's brain, I immediately think betrayal.
Okay.
Right? Like a dagger is perfect for it's small and you can stab somebody in the back with it. It gives me betrayal. Okay. So that is what I get. But then also the balance scale, the eye on the balance scale kind of like negates that. So it's a lot of confusion there for me. He's either going to be really great or he's going to be really fucking awful, which he has proven to be so far.
Okay.
Yes.
She sees a horn.
What kind of horn? A rhino horn? Like, what do you...
She just
could have
said
been
a
more
horn.
Specific.
Okay. We'll move on.
Okay.
She sees a laughing face.
That's his jovial prankster bullshit personality.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And finally, she sees a whole lot of shit when she looks at Rand.
First of all, I would have never asked. I'd be like, thank you so much for engaging with me in this conversation. You may go about your day now.
Right. Right. All right. We'll do this one at a time.
Okay.
First thing she mentions, a sword that isn't a sword.
That's the Heron click.
Is that Heron click?
Yeah.
Okay.
They tight and mighty like iron.
So if that was Heron click, she already mentioned his sword. When she first saw him, she said, oh, a Heron marked sword. On a sheep herder.
Yeah. It's the Heron click.
So she didn't say, because usually, so she says that if she knows what it means, she knows what it means. But she doesn't know what any of these things mean. So she can see physically he's walking around with the Heron mark sword. But this tells me that this sword that isn't a sword
is something different.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. The next thing she sees is a golden crown of laurel leaves.
No.
Okay. She sees a beggar's staff.
Golly.
Rand about to be Poe.
Right. He about to be destitute out in these streets.
Okay. Rand pouring water on sand.
Is he making mud?
Is he getting into agriculture? Is he trying to...
Right. What is happening? Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
He is a farmer.
He is a farmer. She sees a bloody hand and a white hot iron. A bloody hand and a white hot iron.
That makes me think of Perrin.
Because he's
not a locksmith. Oh wow,
Blacksmith.
my brain.
blacksmith.
He's a
Yeah, that was
blacksmith.
killing me. Also, I was like, what?
I was like, what's the thing that he
Because
is?
the iron is white hot. So something white hot and a bloody hand.
This gives me something about Perrin. I don't know what. I don't know if Perrin is the betrayer or what, but this bloody hand and white hot iron, it's reading Perrin to me.
You know what it reminds me of? When they brand cattle with the white hot iron. That's what that reminds me of.
Interesting.
That's what I just thought of. And that's literally something that just popped into my head. Okay. She sees 3 women standing over a funeral bier with Rand on it.
Okay, first of all, that is wretched. Why would you even tell somebody that?
So Rand's dead.
Right.
And there are 3 women standing over him.
Or he could just be asleep.
He's not dead.
Like, maybe. Who knows?
Okay.
She don't know. Shoot.
She sees Black Rock wet with blood.
Oh. Well, maybe he is dead. I don't know. Or maybe that's just not his blood. Maybe he's finally out here being a killing machine. Like, what's his name?
The Terminator? Oh, I was like...
It's not the Terminator.
Because you said machine. I was like... So the false dragon, Logan?
Maybe he's channeling some of his kin before him.
His kin before him. Okay. She sees lightning around Rand. Some of the lightning is striking at him. Some is coming out of him.
Yes, I did highlight that too. I highlight that in my book. But that came into a prediction. Let me pull up my predictions really quick.
Okay.
So I don't think I wrote it down, but I was definitely thinking about that and I highlighted it in the book. The lightning coming in and out of him, again, I think has a lot to do with channeling.
Okay.
And as we have already learned, that when a male who has the power to channel actually accesses the source, there is taint there that, they inevitably touch before they can actually. So I think the sparks coming in and out of him is him channeling the power, but also because now he is tainted, it's the madness of having touched the taint that she sees coming out of him.
Okay.
I think that was right because Shar just gave me a head nod.
No, that is, I give you the same head nod with every prediction. Yes, I do.
It's a lie.
I say, okay, and I usually say, that's interesting.
She didn't do none of that this time. She just gave me the head nod. I think I'm on to something, guys.
Oh my gosh. So anyway, then he's over it. He's like, all right. Stop talking.
Right.
He's like, you don't have to list everything. But then she says, most of all, she says that about the lightning. She says, I don't know what any of it means, except for one thing. You and I will meet again. And he's like, well, yeah, because I got to go back home.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we got to come back through here. So why wouldn't I see you? And she was like, yeah, but if I told you everything I saw, you'd be as curly haired as your friend with the shoulders. So he was like, wait a minute. Did you see rats? And she's like, rats?
Nobody said nothing about no rats.
She said, what about dreams? She was like, dreams? As for dreams, maybe it's your idea of a dream, but I never thought it was mine. What do you think she could be talking about? As for dreams, maybe it's your idea of a dream, but I never thought it was mine. So this is a vision she is not sharing with him.
That's her boo thing.
Who's her? Rand is her boo thing.
Yeah.
That's what that means.
Yeah.
So she has a vision of her and Rand getting together. Okay. Interesting.
Yep.
So
CallMeNakomi is also giving me a head nod. I'm on to something. Woo-hoo!
I'll be like, okay. That's all I'm giving. I'm not giving nothing.
CallMeNakomi is like, I'm just here.
I'm just here.
See if I don't get fined.
Right. So I don't get fined. So now he thinks she's straight 730.
Well,
And he's like, yo, yeah, I have something.
anything else to do?
Is that you call somebody? Yes, I'm coming.
Huh? What you said?
Right.
Oh, hold on, my page is going off. Let me find
Right,
the
my
phone.
page. You beat me. Why you ain't call me?
Yeah, pager.
Motorola
pager. Yo, I had a Motorola Sky pager.
Oh, but we are not gonna do this.
Okay,
That'll be another 45 minutes.
Sorry,
Stay
listeners.
focused.
Sorry, let me stay focused. Sorry, my Aquarius brain just did squirrel. All right. So now he's like, yeah, I gotta go, and he walks away very, very quickly. And then she calls after him, "Run if you want. You can't escape from me," and starts laughing.
I'll find you.
Right. And so now he's like, yo, that sounds just
sucks.
like what Beelzebub's cousin was saying. So I got to get out of here. So that makes him go outside into the streets, into the city of Bear Lawn.
Yes.
So he notices again about his headache. He says his head felt like a balloon. But he said, I'm going to enjoy this city and the sights anyway.
Yep.
So he's walking through the city and, he's seeing houses that were not really too much bigger than those back in Emmons Field. But the difference was that the roofs were much better.
Yeah, he's not all that impressed.
He's just a little impressed. And he counted 9 inns. So that's different because in Emmons Field, there's only 1 inn. And none of them was smaller than the Wine Spring Inn. They were all bigger than the inn that he's used to. So he's in a real city, according to him.
Right.
He also noticed that the prices were very expensive for apples and things like that.
Right.
And way too many people, just a little overwhelming. And some dressed differently. Some had on fine clothing, just like Moraine's.
Right.
Et cetera, et cetera. And then, he also noticed that some people looked like they could be from Emmonsfield. Like he looked at people's faces and just saw similarities. I guess he felt like, I don't know if he thought he's in a city that he'd see different types of humans. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? But he was
Right.
just surprised that, these are just regular people. They could also be from Emmonsfield.
Yeah.
Whatever. And then who does he see?
Chatty Patty himself.
Patty.
Mister, we thought you was dead.
Pot on Fane. So he sees Pot on Fane, but Pot on Fane looks like a bum in the street. Pot on Fane got on ripped clothes. He probably stink. Didn't say that he stinks, but he probably stinks. And Pot on Fane tries to run away. He finally follows him into an alleyway. And he was like, yo, what's the problem? We thought the Trollocs got you. And he like, shh.
How dare you?
Don't say that.
Ignoramus.
There be white cloaks.
It's funny, I actually wrote it down. There be white cloaks.
There be white
He literally said, there be white cloaks in the town. And Rand is like, nah, but just come back to the Stag and Lion. So Rand giving out all the business.
Again, because nobody know how to shut up.
There are 9 other inns that he counted.
Yeah.
But
You want to send him back to
you
the one
telling
where you at.
stinky, dirty, bum-ass Pot on Fane where you staying at.
Yeah, because that's not suspicious at all.
At all.
Girl, that's a dark friend. Bye.
So he was like, yeah, we thought you was dead. And then Pot on Fane gets a little indignant. And he's like, not Pot on Fane. Blah, blah, blah. So he straightened up his clothes like he's fly or whatever. Then he got upset. He was like, they burned my wagon and all my goods. Had no cause to be doing that. Did they? Talks about his horses he couldn't get to. And Rand tries to soothe him and say, no, your horses are good. Master Alvear has your horses. Don't worry. If you come to the inn with me, the Stag and Lion, which is located on...
Right. Each
Shepherd and
third
Dumas.
road.
Right on Church and Linden.
Right on Church and Linden. Yo, I was just there yesterday. I was just on Church and Linden yesterday. That's so funny. I had a baby shower. No, I had a funeral and a baby shower. The funeral was in Flatbush and the baby shower was in East New York. Sorry. Anyway. So he's like, yeah, just come back to the inn. Moraine will help you. And he's like, no, she has to die. I'm not messing with her. Then he's like, what did you say? Stag and Lion? All right. Got it. And Rand's like, well, we
gonna be there till tomorrow.
Right. Rand is like, well, we leaving tomorrow.
Damn, Rand.
Oh my gosh. So you already talking to somebody who know that she's an Isrealite. You're like, yeah, we over here.
Right.
We outside.
Right.
Don't tell her.
Tell all your friends.
Tell all your friends.
Right.
So Potafane makes Rand promise that he doesn't tell the Aes Sedai that he's alive. Which I found very interesting. Why would she care?
Because she tried to kill him.
Thicker than pudding.
Who tried to...
Slow.
Moraine tried to kill the
Absolutely,
peddler?
he's a dark friend. The peddler is a dark friend.
Is a dark... Okay. Did you put that in your...
We both writing it down.
Okay. The peddler. is
a dark friend.
Wow.
One word. Capital
That's interesting.
E. Yep.
Dark friend.
Dark friend. Okay. So, Fane runs away.
Of course he does.
Rand tries to run after him. Loses him, but bumps into somebody. They both fall down. It's Matt. Your favorite person.
Oh, love him to death.
So he tells him so Matt is like, yo, I thought I just saw Potafane. Rand is like, Potafane. He finishes his sentence for him. He was like, yeah, how'd you know? He was like, yeah, I was just talking to him. And I told him all our business. I told him where we were staying at.
Told him
I
what
told
time
him how long we was going to be there.
I told him how many pairs of clean drawers we had left. You know?
Oh my gosh.
Please.
And Matt is still being a dummy, still trying to talk about Charles. Like, so cuts himself off. So the Trollocs didn't get him? Oh, okay. And then Rand says, I don't know, but he is afraid of Mistress Alice. Made me promise to not tell her about him. And Matt was like, well, his secret's safe with me because I don't even want her to know about me. They still not trusting the woman who saved their lives. So Rand asked Matt about his dreams. Turns out Matt had the same dream as well. So again, Keba, shout out to you. Your prediction, it wasn't really a prediction. It was just a thought. You were like, I wonder if Matt and Perrin had the same dream. Yes,
they did.
All three boys had the same dream. So basically, Beelzebub's cousin was in all three of their dreams because he doesn't know which one of them.
Right.
So he's trying to figure it out.
So
he's fucking with all three of them.
But only Matt seems to be unfazed, which is very strange to me. Matt's like, well, bump it. I'm going into the city. Perrin's like, oh my God, I'm dying. I don't know what's happening. And Matt's like, okay, well, you stay there. I'm going to go explore. Right? It's like, why are they having such very drastic...
I think it's just their personalities. So it says here, Matt stared at him without blinking. You too, he said finally. And Perrin, I suppose. I almost asked him this morning, but he must have. Blood and ashes. Now somebody's making us dream things, Rand. I wish nobody knew where I was. So he had this dream. He didn't know anybody else had the dream. I think Matt was just that afraid. And he said he almost asked Perrin about it, but he changed his mind. So I think Matt was just trying to play it off. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, I had this dream was scary as fuck. But I don't want nobody to know that I was scared. Like, maybe, you know what I'm saying? Maybe he was a little embarrassed.
Like he's brave.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm getting.
You know what? Yes, because also in the very, very first chapter when he's like, "Oh, you saw the black cloaked rider too?" Like, okay.
It was like a relief that somebody else.
Like, whew, okay, thought it was just me.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yes.
A quick thought I just had. Because the cook said that basically it was like a dozen rats, more than a dozen that got killed.
Yeah.
And Rand only saw one get killed. Was he killing more rats in those other dreams?
Yep. That's what I thought too. That's what I thought too. I said he must have got to Matt and took like a whole little village of rats. It just snapped all their backs at the same time. Like I can make the whole
Matt's
family
dream
go.
had 7 rats.
Right.
And Matt was like, people kill rats all the time. What's that mean? What's that mean?
He's like, I killed a few last night. What you talking about?
What's that mean? So what?
Rats' backs get broken every day.
Every day, B. I don't even know what you're talking about. You're not scaring nobody.
People get shot every day,
I know exactly who you are. You Beelzebub's cousin.
Second cousin.
You the second cousin.
Twice
You the
removed.
disowned cousin. You're not even all of that.
On his daddy's side.
On the daddy side. Your mama don't like you too much.
All right. So now they start talking about whether they should talk to Moraine. you know. And again, they don't really trust her, and they decide, all right, yeah, we'll talk to Tom or whatever. And Rand asked Matt, did he believe him? I'm assuming he meant, did he believe Beelzebub's cousin in a dream? And so Matt was like, no, you know, because if we tell her and he was lying, maybe nothing happens. But maybe him being in our dreams is enough. I don't know. So they're confused as fuck.
Yeah.
But then Matt reminds him, remember the ferry? I say we keep quiet. Like, they really, like, I really find it crazy that one little incident, after everything that's happened, just because she made a whirlpool in the ferry, in the river, and destroyed the ferry, all of a sudden, like, you can't trust her at all.
Because they're looking at that as, oh, she used him to get whatever it was that she needed, and then she left them destitute. So they're like, oh, shit. So is she going to do that with us? Like, I kind of get the hesitation.
Right.
But also, if you were that hesitant to trust her on this, what's going to be a 15-book journey, apparently, then you definitely should have stayed your ass in Emmons Field.
Book would have ended in 5 pages.
I would have been okay with that.
Put just a 5-page book.
Right. And been like, wow, that was an interesting story.
Little
and then the
short
trolley
story.
came back the next day and ate them.
Nard came back and had his fill.
Yes. Narg's cousins was like, we're here to avenge. Narg's babies was like, so you thought.
So you killed my dad?
Right. We gonna make a special soup out of you.
Oh, snap. So then they were like, oh, wait, we got to go back to the room and tell Perrin not to say anything. So they started trying to go back to the room. And then Rand is just standing there looking dumb. And Matt's like, what's good? And he was like, I think I have a cold. He said his head was as tight as a drum and almost as empty. So he's getting more and more sick. So at first it started out as a headache, then the headache got worse. And now he's saying his head was as tight as a drum and almost as empty. So Matt is like, yeah, just come back to the inn, get some chicken noodle soup with some soda on the side.
Hey.
And, and then he told Matt about Min and what she said. So Matt really liked the dagger with the ruby, because I'm sure they've never seen a ruby before. But, you know, he said, you sure she wasn't making it up? And, you know, Rand said he believes that she does see things, you know, especially because when they first got there, Moiraine was talking to her, you know, and basically asking her questions or whatever.
But so a soothsayer is the word that they used. She didn't say she's a soothsayer, Rand said. I believe she does see things.
Now I was gonna say I looked it up because I was just like, a soothsayer. I was just like, I was like, I wonder if that has any kind of roots in real life, in reality. And I looked it up, and it said that basically it's actually like it's people who basically foresee the future, or are supposed to be able to foresee the future, and its roots come from basically all the way back to like the Bible. Of like people who are able to have that kind of ability. There are several different terms of people who are able to do that. But I just thought it was interesting because all through this, you know, book is kind of tied to reality a little bit. So I was just like, I wonder if there's any kind of roots in those terms that they use. Like they call a wisdom, and they might call them different things in other places and stuff like that. So basically, just like she doesn't have a specific name for what she does, but for what it is that she does, the name in their area is a soothsayer. So
interesting.
I thought that was interesting. I was like, let me look that up then. So
yeah, because I tried to look it up in the glossary and it surely was not there. So I was like, oh, leave me to my own vices then. That's fine.
My bad.
It's not really, because I feel like it's not really a Wheel of Time thing. It's just,
it's not, right.
You know,
just
language that Robert Jordan was using.
That guy. Okay.
All right. So Rand is talking and he keeps saying Moiraine's name. And Matt was like, yo, I thought we weren't supposed to use her name. And he's like, oh, yeah, right. And he rubs his head because his head is really fucking with him. He can't concentrate. So Matt is like, yeah, I think you really are sick. Then he pulled Rand to a stop and says, look at them. And lo and behold, it's the Isrealite whites. So it says 3 men in breastplates and conical steel caps, burnished till they shone like silver, were making their way down the street toward Rand and Matt. So you got 3 white cloaks walking down the block.
They're hitting the BG stance.
Right.
The BG stride.
Right. They about to battle. So Matt is like, you think they're children of the light? And Rand was like, yeah. And so he's thinking to himself, I should be afraid or curious, something at any rate. Instead, he stared at them passively. So it seems like Rand is not behaving normally, and he's questioning himself. Like, okay, I'm supposed to be scared of these Israelite whites. Why am I still staring at them? So Matt, because Matt's a child, and he does one of his tricks. You know, Matt is like, yeah, watch this, right? So basically, he runs like across the street or something. He goes up to an attic of some shop, and he has his sling in his hand, and he hit there was a cart resting with barrels on the cart, and he used his slingshot to basically break the stake that was holding the barrels. Just as the the Israelite whites were walking past, the barrels rolled down, and the Israelite whites had to jump and everything. And, you know, now mud is going everywhere, and their beautiful white cloaks got all muddy, right?
Didn't that remind you of Bart Simpson with the slingshot and causing mischief? I was like, oh.
So Matt is Bart Simpson.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. So from here on in,
yes,
we will refer to Matt as Bart Simpson. So Rand is cracking up. He's cracking up, right?
Also out of character.
So out of character. So now the Israelite whites is looking at him like, yo, the fuck is so funny? Right? And so he was like, oh shit. Right? So all the other people that was walking down the street was like, they was on their New York.
My name is Bennett, and I ain't in it.
Right. They minds in their business. And so in White Cloak's fashion, you know, does the fear of the light hold your tongue? Perhaps you're responsible for this, yes? And so instead of him being normal, and he's thinking in his head, he's like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Right? He says, accidents happen, even to children of the light.
Whew.
Right. So then dude is like, oh, you were that dangerous, youngling. And then another dude was like, Heron Mark, Lord Bornhold. So you're going to remember that name, right? Lord Bornhold.
I will as far as I can.
Okay. So that's who's the main one who's talking.
Yes.
Is Lord Bornhold. Right? So, and we know that we've already learned that the Heron Mark means you're a master swordsman.
Yes.
Right. Then he goes, he's too young. You're not from this place, yes? You come from where? And so now it said that there was a tingling thrill that ran along Rand's arms and legs. He felt flushed, almost warm, right? So like he's having like a fever or something, right? So he says, I just arrived in Bear Lawn. You wouldn't know of a good inn, would you? Right? So he's lying his ass off, right? So of course, Bornhold is like, what evil is in you that you do not answer me? You know, you avoid my questions. Rand is still feeling this tingling. The heat had grown to a fever. He wanted to laugh. It felt so good. A small voice in his head shouted that something was wrong, but all he could think of was how full of energy he felt, nearly bursting with it. Smiling, he rocked on his heels and waited for what was going to happen. Vaguely, distantly, he wondered what it would be. So he done lost his ever-loving mind. He's standing there. I'm picturing him just rocking with like this silly grin on his face.
Right. Like so y'all finna do something?
Like, this gonna be good.
Right. Y'all finna do something. I smell it on you.
Right. So then they like, when the children of the light ask questions, you gray-eyed bumpkin.
Disrespectful.
They came out swinging. They was like, you bumpkin. Right. You country bumpkin.
So all of a sudden the town watch shows up, right? They basically, shut it down or whatever. But now they Lord Bornhold is in full belief that these are fucking dark friends, right? They're like, this town stands in the shadow, blah, 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 blah. But they leave because, they've had issues with the town watch before, right? Because the town watch is basically shutting them down, making sure they don't cause no trouble in their city. So now Rand is still rocking on his heels. The tingle was so strong that he almost quivered. He felt as if he were burning up. So Matt comes out and he's like, yo, you aren't sick. You're crazy. Right. So he was like, I think we better go back to the inn now. Matt is like, yeah, let's go back. So they got lost a couple of times, but they finally made it back. They actually ran into the Gleeman. The Gleeman was out basically advertising the fact that he's going to be at the Stag and Lion performing.
That man said, I'm going to drum up some business
while I'm here.
I might as well.
Might as well. So as they're walking back, Right, that's right. That was the social media. So as they're walking back, Matt started telling Tom about the dream, and they both started telling Tom about the dream and wondering, like, should we tell Maureen, and everything. So there were slight differences in exactly how they remembered the dream. Either that or each dream was a little different, but for the most part, they were exactly the same. Okay, so they're telling about the dream. Rand mentions Baalzamon by name. Tom is like, don't say that. Because these kids just don't know how to be discreet about anything.
Because what is discretion? Right. What is it when my life is on the line? I have no idea.
Especially with the Children of the Light in town.
Right.
And so here goes Matt dumbass, right? So Tom is like, don't do that, especially with Children of the Light, here. And Matt is like, oh, I can tell you about the Children of the Light. Dumbass. So Tom is asking, all right, tell me everything about the dream. Tell me every little detail you can remember. So Rand is explaining everything, including the names that Beelzebub's cousin mentioned, including Gwair Amalasan, Rowland Darksbane, Davion, Urian Stonebow, and Logain. So Tom says that they're dangerous names, nearly as dangerous as that other, One Way and Another, all dead now except for Logain, some long dead, Rowland Darksbane, nearly 2,000 years, but dangerous just the same. Best you don't say them aloud, even when you're alone. So Rand is like, who are they? So Tom basically tells them they were men who shook the pillars of heaven and rocked the world on its foundation. It doesn't matter. Forget about them. They're dust now. And so Matt is asking, like, were they used like Baalzamon said, because Baalzamon said the White Tower used them. And so Tom says, you might say the White Tower killed them. You might say that. So he's basically not confirming or denying, it seems like, because he says, but use, no, I cannot see that. The light knows the Amaranth Seat has enough plots going on, but I can't see that. Then they talk about other things that was said in the dream. And Matt is like, what is the eye of the world? And so the Gleeman says, a legend, maybe. A legend as the Horn of Valir, at least in the Borderlands. Up there, young men go hunting the eye of the world the way young men from Ilion hunt the Horn. Maybe a legend. What do you think about that, Keba?
I know Ilion sounds a lot like Ileana. Ileana.
So Ilion is the name of the country. And people down in the south. It's very south. It's south. It's in the south.
Florida South?
Like Florida South, yeah. But it's in the middle. It's not all the way on the East Coast.
We putting a travel ban on Ilion.
So one of the stories that Tom was telling in the inn was the Great Hunt.
Yeah.
And it's about the Great Hunt for the Horn of Valir. And so people in Ilion gather and say, I'm going to find the Horn of Valir. For whatever reason, which you'll learn about. Or whatever. But it's, it's supposed to be a story. So
we'll find out in the next book. Is it the next book called The Great Hunt?
It sure is.
There
you
it
are
is.
So perceptive.
There it is.
The Great Hunt is the name of book 2.
There it is. That's what we'll be doing next book. Hunting.
We'll be hunting
rabbits.
So basically, the Gleeman is comparing, the way that men hunt for the Horn of Valir is the same way that men up north in the Borderlands hunt for the eye of the world.
Yep.
Whatever that means. All right. So Tom eventually tells them, nah, don't say anything to her or whatever. And
men,
right?
Full of stupidity.
So they go back. To the inn, and Perrin, as they're going in, Perrin's coming out. He said, "Oh my God, I was looking for y'all." And basically, Nynaeve is there.
My gal. Yay.
Nynaeve is there.
Missed you, boo. Took you long enough.
And it's so funny because, like, they're like, Matt is like, how did Nynaeve get here? The ferry. And Perrin was like, please, you think a little thing like a sunken ferry gonna stop Nynaeve from coming? Yo, Nynaeve
she's gonna sit in that seat that Egwene's trying to get into.
That's a prediction?
Yup.
Nynaeve is gonna be the Amyrlin seat?
Yup.
So Egwene is not gonna be the Amyrlin seat?
Yup. She's gonna try. She's gonna work for it.
So that's a new prediction, because your prediction before was, okay,
Egwene is gonna do it. Now I think it's Nynaeve because
okay,
she's just more naturally, I think, prepared to do that than Egwene. Maybe they'll both do it at different parts in the book. So I don't want to necessarily erase that Egwene will never do it or won't do it. But I think Nynaeve she's that girl.
So remember, in our glossary definition, we learned that the Armelin seat serves for life.
Oh no, that means somebody's gonna die.
So that either means that somebody's gonna die, or only one of them is gonna be the Armelin seat. If either one of them will be the Armelin seat.
I think if I had to, I'm gonna say it's Nynaeve. I think it's Nynaeve.
Or it could be both of them. Maybe one of them serves first and they die, and
oh gosh,
another one takes over.
Well, I would be really sad to see Egwene die, but
Nynaeve's your girl.
You know, life is life. You know. We're gonna honor her, and
have
her
memorial.
sacrifice. Yeah, I'm already starting to plan it. We don't braid her braid. We're not gonna braid
let
that.
her hair hang out.
We're gonna let her hair hang down.
Oh my God,
it's
who
the
did
way
that
that
body?
she wanted it.
Already with the
Rand is not allowed to speak. He is not allowed to speak during
next to
reflections.
Oh snap!
She goes, no, she can't be next to Nard. Oh, come on now.
You gonna bury her next to Nard? Oh my God. Oh my gosh. All right. So that's how the chapter ends. They're basically like, oh fuck, Nynaeve is here. What the fuck we gonna do? Before I continue on to chapter 16, CallMeNakomi, did I forget anything?
No, that was a very thorough review.
I know, because we're probably 3 hours into the took us long enough to get through the recap.
Very thorough review. But no, the only thing that basically that caught my eye that you got, not that it's something to actually mention basically, but Matt said blood and ashes, and it's it caught my eye immediately, or it caught my ear immediately when he said it, basically, because I was just like, that sounds like a curse word, but it's not a curse word. But
it gives me motherfucker.
Like a curse word. Yes, exactly.
It gives me fuck. That's
blood
what
and ashes.
Right, it's like, motherfucker.
Motherfucker.
And it just reminds me of, I love it when shows, fiction basically comes up with other curse words rather than actual real life curse words. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So,
so it really is a curse word in this world.
Right. In this world, right.
Yeah.
Sure. I use blood and ashes all the time, especially since a couple people that I remember my job has read the books. So I say blood and ashes all the time. I'll be like,
that's hilarious.
But,
I'm gonna start using it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start using blood and ashes for my regular day-to-day conversations. All right, so chapter 16, the name of the chapter is called The Wisdom.
Hey girl, hey.
Which is, as we all know, is Keba's boo.
That's my boo.
And the chapter symbol is some leaves on a vine.
I don't know.
Okay.
All
right, so they're in the inn and everybody's following Perrin. You know, they're going to wherever Nynaeve is. And then, and we're still in Rand's head. I'm sorry, Keba.
Listen, at this point.
So, Min snatches Rand to the side.
Again.
And this is so funny to me because Tom is like, we don't have time for that, boy.
Again.
As if they was like, going to go like make out or some shit.
Here they go.
But then Min says, go juggle something.
Yo, honestly, that's in my my Rolodex of insults.
Go juggle something?
Yo, I'm going to tell people to go juggle something.
Right.
Go juggle a set of nuts. I don't know, but
go
it's in there.
A set of nuts.
It's in there. Go juggle something.
And so Randa's like, yeah, I don't have time. And it's like, Min was like, me neither. Just shut the fuck up so I can tell you what the fuck I need to tell you. So she basically tells him that Nynaeve is here. But she don't know that they already know, and she doesn't know Nynaeve. But she says, a woman arrived, shorter. She describes her, dark eyes, dark hair, and a braid down to her waist. She's part of it, right along with the rest of you. So your idea about Min being like a helper, it seems like that's,
yeah, she's
like she's just trying to warn people, like,
you're doing the most. Yeah. Shut the fuck up. just shut up. Just shut up.
So Min is like, oh, you know her already? And she was like, yeah. And she said, the sparks, Rand. You listening?
Mm-hmm.
She met Mistress Alice coming in, and there were sparks with just the two of them. Yesterday, I couldn't see sparks without at least 3 or 4 of you together. But today, it's all sharper and more furious. It's almost a wonder the inn doesn't catch fire. You're all in more danger today than yesterday, since she came. So the fact that Nynaeve showed up made their danger even more imminent. Which was interesting. But Rand is like, Nynaeve ain't gonna hurt us.
Right.
But I think Rand doesn't understand that the danger is not necessarily Nynaeve hurting them.
Right.
But just the fact that she's there with them, maybe somehow
draws something.
Yeah, just changed the trajectory of something. Yeah,
because now the Trollocs are like, oh, we could just follow her. We know her. We know where she going. Bet.
Right. All right, so they get there and tension is high.
It's cold in there.
Oh, it's so cold. It's so cold. Even though they got a fire on in the fireplace.
Land over there trying to warm up his hands. Like, baby, you know it ain't. Right. It ain't the breeze. All right.
For real. So it says they're basically Moiraine and Nynaeve are staring at each other. And neither one, they playing the who can blink first game.
Eyebrows all raised.
With each other. Nynaeve had her braid thrown over her shoulder. The end of the braid gripped in one fist. And she kept giving it little tugs the way she did when she was being even more stubborn than usual with the village council. So Nynaeve is pissed. You know, she found her folks, basically. And so Tom basically cut the tension. It was like, oh, before that, they finally take seats at the table. Yeah. Right. First they were standing there and they finally sit down. Everybody takes their seats. And then Tom said, well, at least that much is done. Like, at least we figured out where we're sitting.
We're comfortable.
I think Lan was flirting a little bit.
But I
think Lan, because Lan says, he says, since everyone is here, Lan said, leaving the fireplace and filling one of the silver cups with wine, perhaps you will finally take this. He proffered the cup to Nynaeve. I'm reading it like a romance novel now. Yes. He proffered the cup to Nynaeve. She looked at it suspiciously. There is no need to be afraid, he said patiently. You saw the innkeeper bring the wine, and neither of us has had a chance to put anything in it. It is quite safe. And now I think she blushing.
She took that cup.
Because she took the cup and said, thank you.
Thank you.
Right. So Lan wants to know, all right, how'd you find us? And Moiraine is like, yeah, how the fuck you found us?
Right. What you doing here?
Right. So Nynaeve is like, I'm not dumb. The only way you could go is Baerlon, you know. But to be safe, I followed your trail. And Lana's like, you followed? What? You did what?
We ain't leave no trail. Oh, but yes, you did.
Lana's like, I don't leave trails.
I motherfucking land the water.
Right. You say I'm motherfucking... Is that like I'm Rick James?
I'm Rick James. I'm motherfucking land the water. I'm motherfucking land the water. I need t-shirts.
Hilarious. So Lan is like, yo, I must be getting careless.
Right.
And Rand notices that Lan is truly surprised. Right. But then she reassures him like, no, you left very little trace, but I'm good at what the fuck I do.
Hello.
You know, it ain't you. It's me. I'm fly. Not that you're careless. It's that I'm fly. And she talks about how her dad used to take her hunting and blah, 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 blah. And he's impressed.
Very.
He's like, okay, if you can follow that trail, then your father taught you well. Few can do that. So now Nynaeve is blushing. So now Rand is like, what the fuck is happening right now? Like, what's going on? So Moiraine is like, all right, fuck this. Now you can answer some questions. Of course, Nynaeve is, you know, pissed about them taking her kids, basically, away. And she's basically like, I'm here to take everybody back. And Tom is trying to calm things down and was like, listen, if you want them to see their village again, or you, either, you had better be more careful. There are those in Baerlon who would kill her for what she is, him too. Because she's basically not being discreet about the fact that Moiraine is an Aes Sedai. She's basically like, she's being very loose. She don't really, you know.
She don't care.
She don't give a fuck.
She don't give a fuck.
She don't give two fucks or whatever. So they're trying to school her on that and everything. And they talk about the danger and everything. And she was like, yeah, that's why I'm here. Everything you just said about it being dangerous and all of that, that's why I need to go back home with me.
Yes.
Rand is basically like, nah, we can't. And he basically tells them the Trollocs are chasing us. And we don't know why, but we're on the way to Tar Valon. And that's the only way we can be safe. And it's the only way we can find out. So Nynaeve was like, oh, you sound just like Tam. You know, and she talks about how Tam had a meeting with the village and tried to convince everybody that the only way is to let the kids go to Tarvalon. That's the only way they could be safe. But the village wanted the kids to be brought back. And then they decided, all right, fine, we'll go find them. And then Tam wanted to come, even though he's still sick. Mm-hmm. And then Nynaeve is just so rude. She was like, foolishness must run in your family. Talking about dumb. Tam and Rand. Just called them straight dumb. And so Matt was like, well, what did my daddy say? And Matt's dad is afraid that he ain't gonna know how to act out in these streets. He's afraid you'll try your tricks with Outlanders and get your head thumped.
Because he needs it.
And he seemed more afraid of that than being afraid of Mistress Alice. Then Nynaeve says, but then he was never much brighter than you. Like, Nynaeve is killing him.
I love this.
Killing him. Like, and then Perrin is like, yeah, I guess Master Luhan wasn't too happy about me leaving either. And then Nynaeve is still reading people for filth.
Yes.
You know, she's like, maybe I should not be surprised at this harebrained idiocy from you three. But I thought others had more judgment. She's talking about Egwene. Like, Egwene, you're not dumb.
Right.
Why are you here? Right.
But I left a note. Right.
Girl,
go on, sit down somewhere.
And then Moiraine is like, you and I must still talk. Like, fuck all this. We need to talk. So they arguing. Moiraine is trying to explain how they'll be much safer with them than if they had stayed in the Two Rivers. And Nynaeve still believes that it's dangerous for them to be out. And she was like, you brought them here, right here where White Cloaks are. And if, you know, the Gleeman tells the truth, the White Cloaks may harm them just because your Aes Sedai and they're with you. You know, tell me how they're safer. So they arguing about that.
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense. Right. So they're going back and forth. Moiraine is explaining how, you know, the fact that she is an Aes Sedai gives them some sort of protection. And then after a while, Moiraine tells Egwene to leave the room and take everybody with you. So me and Nynaeve could have a little chat.
Right, because she pissing me off.
Right. So Egwene jumps up and was like, yeah, I'm out.
She's
so
like,
everybody follows
say
her.
less.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for you to say I could go.
Right. So they rolled out, and Gleeman is telling everybody, like, don't forget what I said. Egwene's like, what you talking about? And Matt was like, oh, he gave us some advice. So Matt about to tell her everything.
Because what is discretion?
Yeah.
Oh my.
Because Tom, they talking about basically. Tom told him, don't say anything to Moiraine about the dreams or whatever. So Perrin tried to clean it up and said, oh, he said not to open our mouths until we were sure what we were going to say. So they all standing wherever they are. They're out of that room, and Nynaeve and Rand are talking. They're alone, and she tells Rand, you know, that he's grown up. You know, you seem to have grown. And Rand is like, yeah, it's been a week.
I grew half an inch.
Yeah, you know, it's been a week. So Rand is like, yo, you coming with us? And Nynaeve was like, well, I ain't coming with y'all. Fuck out of here. I gotta go back. I got shit to do. Right? And she was like, I'm still trying to see if y'all can come home with me. And Rand is like, yo, we can't. Like, yo, we really can't. We can't go back home. So finally, well, Nynaeve basically tells Rand what happened at the village meeting and everything. Rand is asking questions. Nynaeve is impressed because there was a time where he would never question her, you know, so he's maturing just a little bit, you know. So then he asks her, like, all right, you know, why are you really here? So she basically tells a story about how everyone was in the village was arguing about, should we go rescue them? What should we do? They're with an Aes Sedai. And so basically, long story short, she was like, they were spending so much time arguing that in the meantime, the women's circle got together and made a decision while the whole village was arguing. And she was like, they probably still arguing right now. Even I done left, I done made it here. They probably still arguing. So then he asked Nynaeve, like, well, what was y'all talking about with, you know, you and Moiraine? And Nynaeve basically mentioned that she was asking questions about the boys, trying to decide why they've attracted the kind of attention that they've attracted, you know, with the Trollocs and things like that. And most of all, she wanted to know who was born outside of the Two Rivers. Why would she want to know that?
Because she's looking for the one. She's looking for that Neo.
So Rand is like, of course he's thinking about what his dad said. His father.
His daddy.
Right? So he's like, wait a minute. Nynaeve's the wisdom. If I wasn't born in Two Rivers, Nynaeve would know because she's the wisdom. So then he starts telling Nynaeve what his dad was saying in the fever dream. And she feels sorry for him. And she says, you know, people say strange things in a fever, things that aren't true. And then she says this. Tam Althor ran away seeking adventure when he was a boy no older than you. I can just remember when he came back to Emmons Field, a grown man with a red-haired Outlander wife and a babe in swaddling clothes. I remember Kari Althor cradling that child in her arms with as much love given and delight taken as I have ever seen from any woman with a babe. Her child ran. Now you straighten up and stop this foolishness. So basically, she didn't confirm nor deny. Mm-hmm. She basically said, your pops left here and came back with an Outlander wife. So a wife who wasn't from the Two Rivers and a baby. Mm-hmm. And she loved you. Yeah. Like her son. So she didn't say the word like. That was me. I said like. She said, with as much love given and delight taken as I have ever seen from any woman with a babe. And so now he's thinking to himself, damn, I was born outside of the Two Rivers. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I imagine that must be like crazy bomb drop. Like, damn, I wasn't even born in the Two Rivers.
Surprise.
So Rand is like, why you ain't tell her that I was born outside? And she was like, that ain't nobody's business. And blah, 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 blah. And she's like, Rand is like, all right, what you gonna do now? And he was like, right now. She was like, right now? I'm gonna go have a bath. Because apparently 90 stinks too. Because she took the same trip.
Yeah. She had to go ducking and dodging the way they was ducking and dodging.
And that is the end of chapter 16.
Ooh, baby.
We made it. And if y'all still here listening, we appreciate y'all so much.
Hey, thank you.
We know it took a really long time to get here.
We're glad you stayed.
We are so glad you stayed. Okay. Mm-hmm. Do you have any thoughts, any predictions?
I always have predictions.
I'm so curious to know what you think about these events that have happened. It seems like things are really amping up right now.
Padon Fane is a fucking dark friend.
Okay.
My writer brain says, when you're described in such a way, you're either a hero or a villain, right? So think Bruno in, what's the name of that cartoon? Encanto, thank you. Where he was like, living with the rats and all shredded clothing and sunken eyes. But he was like really like the heroine of the family, right? Like the outcast, but like the one that would like, bring hope, right? Or think of any Disney villain in the way that they are described. Mm-hmm. That was the way that Padon Fane was described.
Okay.
And so I think that he's a dark friend.
Okay.
I think if it wasn't Warren, then it was Lan who tried to, who waxed that ass.
Who waxed whose ass?
Padon Fane.
Oh, Lan beat up Padon Fane?
I think he beat the shit out of him.
Okay.
During that Trolloc attack because he must have caught him doing something. Must have caught him slipping.
Okay.
Also, how did Padon Fane get to Baerlon before them?
Very interesting.
Before them,
was he there
horse.
Before them? Was he already there all that time? That's what you think?
I think that he was there all that time. I don't think he had just gotten there.
Okay.
I feel like because he, I don't know. It just seemed like he was familiar enough to duck into alleyways and do whatever. He knew that the White Cloaks was there, right? Which means that he had been there long enough to see them passing by.
The Isrealite whites.
Right. And so how did he get there before them with no horse, no goods, no nothing? And it took them 10 days at bare minimum. It took them a week. So something is amiss. Why doesn't he want Maureen to know that he's alive? Okay. You're a dark friend. And you know that if she find out that your ass is alive and you made it to Baerlon, they gonna descend upon your ass once more. Okay? And beat your ass. It's like Tom and Jerry. It's like an on-site beef. Like, what words?
Wait, not
it's
Tom
like
and
Peter
Jerry.
and the chicken. You know what I'm saying? Like, what words need to be exchanged? Which I'm just coming to bust your ass.
Right.
He's a dark friend.
Okay.
That's where I'm gonna plant this flag for right now.
Okay.
So a sword that's not a sword. So I think the Heron Click sword is more than a sword, right? It's giving me some kind of key, right? It's giving me some kind of access. It's giving me some kind of like, and I can't think of a cartoon, right? But I feel like, if he holds this Heron mark to the sun at a 45-degree angle, it'll open a tower or something, right? Like,
so you still don't think that the heron mark sword that he's carrying, that Min saw, is different from her vision of a sword that's not a sword?
So if we're getting multiple swords, I mean, I'll cross that bridge when we get to the next sword. But as of right now, I'm feeling like it might be somehow tied to... Because again, she doesn't know everything that she sees. Right? So I think this might be one of those things where she's like, I know that the...
But if she saw the sword in her vision, she didn't say a heron mark sword. Because she mentioned, the very first thing she said to Rand, out her mouth, sheep herder with a heron mark sword. That was the first thing out her mouth. She had already looked at him and saw her visions. So she had already so she already saw a sword that is not a sword. So when she was telling him about the visions, she didn't say, well, I saw your heron mark sword in the vision.
Yeah. Okay. So
you know what I'm saying?
let me put a pin in that one. Okay. Because I don't know. There's, as of right now, there's no other sword unless there's gonna be like King
and that's
Arthur.
Me just following logic. That's not me trying to...
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But like if they end up somewhere, he pulls a sword out of a stone, then, we'll talk. That's just, I don't have one for that right now. So what else was I saying? Rand's light and dark is already starting to make a battle within him. He's already starting to lose control, which is amazing because I thought that this was going to be a slower burn, which means that these books are about to...
You mean with his fever sickness and everything, with him bugging out?
Right, the headaches that won't go away.
What do you think is causing that?
That's the dark one. That's the taint. Sorry, that's the taint. That's the taint that is making him start to go mad, right? Because this is the logic that I'm following.
So let me ask you. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Do your logic.
So I feel like he was fine until they started running from that Drakkar, right?
Okay.
When they started running from that Drakkar, and I remember this distinctly because you read it verbatim, where he was on, was it Cloud? Is he on Cloud? And Egwene is on Bella, and he's willing Bella to run. Run as fast as you can. Don't you fucking stop. Right. Damn it. And then...
And Bella ran.
Right. And then when they had to stop and Moiraine was touching on the horses, she was like, yo, this one...
Bella's good.
I didn't even have to put a little nothing in her.
Okay.
I said, so Rand put the something in her.
Okay.
So he accessed the one power in that moment.
Okay.
And did what Moiraine was going to do.
Right.
For Bella.
So basically you're saying, just to clarify.
Yeah.
That... when they were running from the Drakkar, and Rand was pleading, please run fast, Bella.
Yes.
He was actually channeling and, in essence, healing because Moiraine was healing the horses and everything to make them feel refreshed. Yeah. Healing them of their fatigue.
Yeah.
So Rand was already doing that for Bella.
He was doing it in some way, right? I don't know. It clearly wasn't the same way, right? Because Moiraine had to touch them.
Right.
But he channeled, I don't know how this works, but he was channeling one power to give energy to Bella. Okay. Right? It was like, like his chi, like he focused his chi and it moved in the way that he wanted it to move. Right. And so I think that when he, did that whole Bella run and she was running and, not exhausted, that was him actually channeling. Okay. And he touched the taint. And now all of a sudden he's got crazy headaches. They won't go away. He's getting bossed up in dreams with broken rat backs and, he's acting real bold with the Isrealite whites. And the other thing is when he is in that moment with the Isrealite whites, he's like, internally, I'm like, walk away, run. What are you doing? Externally, he's like, oh, this shit is fun. Like he just had a hit of coke. It was just like, I'm on a binge, baby. Let's go, danger. Let's ensue this. Right?
Not that any of us know what it feels like to
do a hit of coke. Right. You don't know my life.
Oh, shit. Let me stop making assumptions.
Don't do drugs. Don't do drugs.
It's dangerous out here.
We've watched enough movies. Yes. Think Wolf on Wall Street. Yes. Okay.
Which is a very good movie, by the way.
Listen, we're not doing that.
Okay, keep going.
Yes. So I think, as a part of that taint is, you know, that darkness getting in there and being like, yeah, go do hood rat shit with your friends. See how good that feels?
Right.
Yeah, smack him in the face now. And internally, his light, right, is like, bitch, are you nuts? This is not right. What are you doing?
Right.
But, you know, because he touched that taint, he's, you know, more, you know, aware of, well, not, he's more subconsciously aware and susceptible to the darkness in the taint. So it's causing him to do shit like laugh in people's face and lie and all the things that are very uncharacteristic of him.
Okay.
So, yeah. So his light and dark is already starting to make a battle within himself. And he's already starting to lose control. What? Nynaeve and Lan are a thing. What?
Did you just vomit?
Yes, because what?
I know, right?
What?
Wow. What's so repulsive?
You don't like
what's so repulsive about that?
I like, first of all, I like Nynaeve being very independent and very, very, very independent. I like independent Nynaeve. I like Nynaeve who's just like, boys are dumb. They stupid. Why would I'd rather be with another woman. Oh, I like that idea. Let's make Nynaeve gay.
I like that too.
I like that. Oh, but I fear that she is not. This is about to be a tragedy. She's about to end up with Lan because he absolutely got moist when she was like, "Oh,
I followed your trail."
I followed your trail. Yeah, I saw your little Snicker bar wrappers.
Right.
And
you didn't clean up after yourself.
Footprints. Yeah, I saw your little pee holes. I smelled y'all. That's what I followed.
The smell.
I followed the smell because boy stank. Okay. And he made her hard. She made him moist. And so I'm like, great. Yuck, that's gonna happen. What else? Yeah, so I touched on Rand touching the taint, which I'm immature. It's right there.
Okay.
He touched the taint.
Touch the taint.
And my final prediction is something happens with the white coats on their way out of Bear Lawn. And in that confrontation, Nynaeve will be convinced to journey forward with them. And I don't know if it's going to be, you know, because Nynaeve is that girl. So I don't know if it's going to be something where she, like, accidentally channels. And it's not like Egwene who had to, like, focus really hard to get a little flicker in a stone. But Nynaeve is damn near going to mountain, right? Like, she's going to get out there and they're going to be fighting. And she's going to pull, like, some crazy kung fu, you know, move. And they're going to be like, oh, shit. She's going to be like, what the fuck was that?
I know I had that in me.
Right. And Moiraina's going to be like, excellent. And then she's going to be like, come with me to Tarvalon because that's the only place that we can take you to get you some, you know.
The force is strong.
Right. Everybody going to be like, oh, shit. Like, So, and that's how Nynaeve ends up on the trail with the team. The Isrealite whites gonna get out there and act a fool because they looking for Rand now.
Okay.
Because this isn't over, you know.
Right.
And they stomp away.
Bornhold.
Yeah. Bornhold. Thanks with these names. Whoo, child. All right. So yeah. So,
and he's a lord, so like
Lord Bornhold.
Yeah. Too many the same vowels.
It reminds me of Lord. What's his name?
Farquhar. From Shrek.
That's immediately what I thought of when I saw that name. I was just like, okay, someone watched a little bit of Shrek, maybe. I don't know. But yeah. So those are my predictions. I think it's interesting because I really wasn't expecting Rand to start going crazy so soon. So I'm wondering if a lot of the books are gonna be about them trying to then gentle Rand as like Logain. Like, is Rand gonna go straight Logain and he's just gonna be out here tearing cities up, and you know they have to figure out how to gentle him? Does he become the villain in this book? That's so interesting. Anyway, yeah. So that's not a prediction. That was just me musing aloud. But yeah, those are my predictions. I don't think I'm missing anything. Oh, and I need to write this in, but Miss Min is Rand's boo thing. She was giving me big, I like you energy. Because leave him alone.
Because she kept talking to him.
And you notice she saw something about everybody, but he was the only one that she kept tugging on.
Okay.
She didn't stop Matt. She didn't stop Perrin. She didn't stop the Gleeman.
Right.
She saw Rand and was like, oh, let me grab him.
She told the Gleeman to go juggle something.
Go juggle something and mind your business, as if he wasn't, by your own admission, attached to all of this.
A part of everything.
Right. So how? Why? Because you see something with yourself in Rand.
Okay.
So, yeah, Min is Rand's boo thing. And I feel like Rand doesn't even like, because she's dressed in boy clothes. And they make it a point to keep saying that she's dressed in boys' clothes. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, why? Is she like masculine presenting? Because that would also be very ahead of the time and very dope. But I doubt it, right? Like, I don't know.
Because this book was definitely written in 1990.
Exactly.
Or released in 1990. Published in 1990.
Right, which means it was written
It could have been written before
anytime before that. Mm-hmm. And so this would be wildly ahead of his time, and it would be amazing if she was like masculine presenting. Mm-hmm. But I doubt, like I'm not going to put any hopes into that because, it was released in 1994 by a white man, no shade, but 1990? Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, even worse. So, but yeah, I would love to see a twist where she's just like, maybe she's a cousin. Maybe they're related.
And then they can't be together.
But maybe that's what she sees.
Okay.
It's some kind of relation to him. Because I would.
So they're not gonna get together.
I don't know. It's either that they're gonna be together. Okay. That's her boo thing, mm-hmm. or that's like her brother, okay. or some kind of relative. Because again, she's very attached to him and him in particular. Okay. And she hasn't told him everything. But she sees a connection with him, and she is aware of what the connection is. Right. And her being dressed in boys' clothes, I want to believe that RJ was extremely progressive for his time, and that, she's just, masculine presenting and, mm-hmm. just being her authentic self, and that she knows that Brand is like a cousin, brother cousin, relative. Oh gosh, one of the things, right?
Brother cousin.
But my writer brain is like, girl, now that man didn't write nothing like that in there, and so I'm like, maybe that's her boo thing then. Oh, fine. Because then she also was like, the other thing that stands out was the fact that she was just like, Egwene's not your girl. Right? And I know if I have ever said that to a man, that's because I wanted him. Right. For myself. Okay.
Yeah. So she don't even like you like that.
Right. You know what she said the other day? She was like, you stink. She said you smell like nuts. Right? Like it just just talking real sassy. Real reckless. So like, I don't know. It's one of those two things, and I feel like obviously I'll get more, into it as the story goes. But it's one of those two things. I'm gonna slash that. Okay. Yeah, but those are my predictions.
Well, listeners, tell us what you think.
Yes, get up in that Discord. Even though I can't see it because...
Yeah, let's talk about it.
In the spoiler
chat.
Behind her back.
Behind my back, right.
Oh yeah, we definitely talk about you.
Damn.
Yeah, we love you though.
All good things, I hope.
All good things.
Okay.
All great things.
One day, I'm going to be able to see it. Just remember that.
Except for
that one thing, right?
Except for that one time.
Don't worry about that.
I defended you though.
Right.
Yeah.
She was like, if you go back 10 years from now when we finish these books,
right. Then you can
you'll be able
to
see that I was like, actually, guys, I had said she was right. She was right.
Right. Mm-hmm. So that was, you got to sing it.
Keba's Asinine predictions. Is that better? I tried to take some vocal.
So much. Oh my god! You have no idea how much I love that. Like that is an official sound effect.
Is it a sound bite?
For WoT In Color.
It should be. You mentioned that. Oh, I can't sing.
And her voice is so beautiful.
That right there, basically. Right. However, whatever your level of ability is, that right there, you should record it next time you actually even say it.
Thank you.
Or just take it from one of the recordings.
Yeah. That might be the
Put
official
in a little
sound
jingle
bite.
tune in the back.
Who can do the jingle? Hey, there it is. She got it. That's it.
We're gonna have the jingle and the
like
and the
a
audio.
good neighbor, baby.
Keba is there with her asinine predictions. It don't sound as good when I'm not a singer.
Tell me. No.
Okay.
Yeah. So
All
let us
right.
know. Well, let Shar know what you think of those predictions. I have no idea what you guys are saying.
Real quick, before we completely close your predictions, I just want to know how you feel or what you think about something. Kind of going back to men's viewings, and I love these two chapters because it basically deals with men's viewings. I love that kind of stuff, basically. Especially with the fact that it's so early in the books, and she's just like, "Oh, I see this and this and this," and people just like, "What?" and a what and a this and a that, and it's just like you have no clue what this is about or when it's actually going to even come across this information. So, but the biggest thing that basically she is focused on is basically what she sees when she sees the whole entire group, and it's basically that balance or fight between the sparks and the sparks and the darknesses. Yeah, the shadow. Darknesses. So basically, in the second part, right? So she basically saying that she's seeing the darkness is trying to swallow the sparks, and the sparks is trying to fill up the shadow. And she said in the second time when she mentioned it, when Rand came back from getting back with Matt and getting back to the inn, she was basically saying that how now that Nynaeve arrived, basically it's even more strong and more energetic, basically. And at first she needed a bunch of them around to see it, and now when Nynaeve is around, it's even more active, and she apparently is also involved. She's in it basically as Min said. And so it's almost like Rand was kind of not exactly disappointed, but he didn't like hearing that Egwene was a part of it too. And, but, Min is just like, what I see happens basically. And, Egwene's a part of it. And so now that Nynaeve's a part of it, when Nynaeve comes out of the meeting with Moraine, he's like, "So are you coming?" So what do you think about that exactly, or do you have any thoughts about that? Basically,
about him asking,
because I mean, it's kind of he's dealing with more information than anybody else in the whole group, maybe except for Moraine. He's dealing with a little bit more information, and none of the other actors in the situation kind of has this information, or who knows what Min has told Moraine, or if she's told Moraine much, or what how much she has. But do you have any thoughts on that?
Thoughts about Rand asking Nynaeve if she was going to join them? I hadn't thought about that. Let me take a beat. Because he's asking based on this idea that Min has said that she's part of it, right? I don't think he would have asked if Min hadn't been like, yo, whatever lady just stepped up in the room is like she's super tied to it. Y'all super duper need her. Like it's crazy because she seems to kind of be like this base. Right? Like she can see sparks with just her and Moraine as opposed to needing all 4 and 5 people to get together to see the sparks. So she seems to be like a major thread to all of this. And if Rand is listening to her, which I think he is, because he definitely cut her off. He was like, I don't need to hear no more about myself, when she was like,
he had enough.
Right. He was just like, okay, so I don't need to hear about me being dead and women standing over my body. I don't need to hear that. So he believes her to some extent, right? Otherwise, he'd have been like, go on, get on out my face and shut up. So I think because he believes her, at least to some extent, that he is encouraging Nynaeve to come. And he wants her to come. He believes that she is important to the mission, and the mission is to figure out why the Trollocs is on our ass. So those are my just fresh thoughts, kind of thinking about why
So you think that he's encouraging her to come, or does he just think that that's just something that's going to happen because the wheel wills, the wheel weaves as the wheel wills, basically, and so nobody has control over anything nor understands fully the foreseeing.
Yeah, I don't know if he believes that the wheel weaves as the wheel wills. That's very much a Moiraine thing. That's very much... Because even Lan is like, man, fuck that will shit. Like, I told you not to bring them.
Right.
What's wrong with you?
I told you not to bring them.
So I think that's more of a Moiraine thing. I think he feels safe with Nynaeve, particularly after the conversation that they had.
So he wants Nynaeve to come.
Because it's an extra person that he can trust. Right? Particularly when... He said, what were you guys talking about in there? And she was like, oh, this is what happened. This is what I said. This is what she said. And then when he said, oh, my father, and mind you, he hasn't told that to anybody else. He hasn't told that to anybody else. So he trusts Nynaeve enough to be like, yo, my father said this. And hearing you just say that, I was like, oh, so he trusts her. So this is a thing. And she was just
she's the wisdom.
Told him,
so that is somebody that you would go to.
And she was like, I didn't tell her nothing because there ain't none of her business.
Yeah. So he's like, okay, so can you come? Can you help me out then? Because it's a lot of shit going on that I don't understand and that you may have a background on because you're the wisdom, because, you have access to these, I guess, records and, you would have seen and you would have known and you would have heard. And also I trust you, right? You're somebody from home. I grew up with you. So if you come, this is one other person who I can talk to. Maybe he opens up and talks to her about the dreams, right? Since he's still not fully trusting of Moiraine, right? And so I think he wants her to come. I think he's willing her to come. But I don't think it has anything to do with like this kind of manifest destiny. It is your God-given right to come on this trip and you must. I don't think he's believing all of that shit. I think he's just like, yo, you my homegirl, you haven't lied to me, right? Like I told you this and you answered with why and it lines up and you're not lying and you're being honest and you sound like you're on my team and I feel like you're on my team and you're my friend. So come on this ride with us. I mean, we got Egwene. You might as well. Egwene is here. Like everybody's
just come
here,
on.
Right?
The gang's all here.
Right. Go ahead, saddle up your horse. So yeah. That's okay. And also my other question was, and this is what also made me think that Nynaeve is like super duper powerful, because if they've only been in Barrelon for one night, how did she get there so quick? It took them 10 days. Mm-hmm.
I guess it depends on how soon after they left that she started out.
It sounded like they were arguing for a couple of days.
Okay.
It sounded like they were arguing for a couple of days, and
they might not have been arguing for a couple of days because Nynaeve is not one to waste time.
Oh, that's true. That is very true.
And so I feel like, is she like, y'all been arguing for 3 hours? Okay. Yeah, let me pack my sack.
Right, because y'all playing the game. Yeah. And the longer we sit here and argue about it,
right,
the more distance gets put in between us. So she probably packed her things like the next day.
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay. So, yes, and then it would have taken her a day to catch up. Okay, so yeah. Okay, that makes sense. But how'd she know to go into the Stag and Lion?
She followed Lan's tracks.
Oh, right, because he's sloppy.
Right.
Lan is sloppy.
She said that he wasn't sloppy. She said she's that dope.
Oh, she made sure to let him know he wasn't that sloppy.
No, you're not sloppy at all. You're good. You're good at what you do.
You're good at what you do.
But I'm better. So dope at what I do.
I'm so much better.
So much better.
I hope. Oh God.
You don't like that?
I don't like it. I want to get with another Aes Sedai. Not Moiraine. I just want her to get with it got to be some black Aes Sedais in this world. God, please. I just want her to get with another Aes Sedai. I just want her to get with another Aes Sedai and just have bomb lesbian Aes Sedai sex. That would be great.
Bomb lesbian Aes Sedai sex sounds pretty dope, actually.
I'm going to put it on a t-shirt, actually.
Bomb lesbian Aes Sedai sex. I'm here for it.
It sounds like a good time.
I stepped out. What the fuck did I miss?
We're just talking about bomb lesbian Aes Sedai sex. No big deal.
You missed the good part. This is WoT In Color After Dark.
God damn! I missed the.
So basically, Keba reiterated that she does not like Lan and Moiraine as a couple, and that she would prefer if Moiraine got with.
No,
I'm sorry. Lan and Nynaeve as a couple.
Yeah.
She would prefer if Nynaeve got with another Aes Sedai.
Yes.
So they can have some bomb-ass lesbian Aes Sedai sex.
Just powerful. Just out here pulling lightning out their coochies.
Not lightning out the coochie. I think I'd be a little afraid of a coochie.
If it's two Aes Sedai,
that lightning is coming out of.
Listen, it's two Aes Sedai. They know what's up.
I don't know if I want lightning coochie.
That's how they orgasm.
Their orgasm is the lightning.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's very powerful.
That's a different kind of mountaining.
Wow.
That is a different kind of.
69 is
69 is very dangerous. Literally. You gotta put on rubber gloves and rubber mouthpiece.
Right, don't have no metal fillings.
No, you can't have fillings.
No fillings.
Well, I'm out.
I'm out.
I mean, me too.
Damn.
Too. Take your earrings
I'm
off
safe.
and no conductive
I'm safe.
material.
I just got my metal fillings replaced.
Damn.
I was waiting for this day.
I gotta get my metal fillings out, yo. I want to do 69
Right now.
with an Aes Sedai.
Hi, Dr. H. I love you. My lightning is only for you.
So y'all ever seen The Expanse?
I have not
No.
caught up. I watched season 1, episode 1.
Oh man.
Well, that's basically the one part that I was
Okay.
talking about in the season 1, episode 1, where they're in 0 G and they're basically floating in the air and stuff.
That sounds great. Okay, we're moving
All right,
on.
let's move on because
it's not enough water in here.
it's not enough water. It's getting a little hot. It's a little
I'd sign
little
up.
hot. It's a little hot in here. Okay. So
Yeah.
now that we've done all the predictions,
Fun.
fun.
I mean, some of them were gross, but fun. Fun to recap.
Keba,
Yeah.
do you have any themes you want to get into right quick?
Yeah. So one of the things that really struck me was this idea of love, the unrequited kind, if you will. So I want to talk a little bit about how it feels when you learn that someone you love or someone that you really care about either doesn't love you back, or even if they do, because of circumstances, they can't be with you. And how exactly did you get over that? Like, what was your process for moving forward and for healing and growth?
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
I actually do have a friend who I felt like he was like the perfect guy. I was like, oh yes, he has everything that I've ever wanted in a partner. And I got up the courage to let him know
Yeah.
how I felt. And he was like, yo, sis.
Oh, not sis. Not sis.
All right, sis.
Oh,
It's like, yo, you
Sis.
know I love you. But you know you my sis.
Ooh.
And I was a little, that was a little,
Gut punchy.
just a little gut punchy, but it wasn't done with malice.
Yeah.
Even in that moment, it was done with love.
Yeah.
And I appreciated it. And I think I basically decided, well, that's okay too.
Yeah.
We can still be friends and we can love each other in a platonic way.
Yeah.
And I still get to have him in my life.
Right.
And this was many years ago. I'm not going to say how many.
No need to.
A lot of years.
A lot.
And we're still friends.
That's dope.
And I still get very excited when he calls me. He gets excited when I call him. If we run into each other, it's all love. And I'm okay with that because, like I said, I have him in my life.
Yeah.
And we love each other. And he's a great friend.
Do you feel like if you had gotten together with this person, that it would have completely changed the dynamic
I think
of
so.
your relationship?
I think so. And it might not have worked.
Because I feel like
It might not
sometimes
work.
we get...
And then I might have lost him
Right.
as a friend.
Right.
And that would hurt.
Yeah, because I feel like sometimes the universe moves in a way that saves us from ourselves.
Exactly.
Right? Where it's like, this is somebody who is going to change your life for the better.
Right.
They're going to be an essential piece to your life.
Right.
But if you misread the energy that is happening between the two of you, you
Right.
can really push yourself back on a growth trajectory.
Right.
And so I'm going to make it so that he's going to probably hurt your feelings, but I want you to make sure that you get past that.
Right.
Because he's still somebody who is important.
Yeah.
Right? In your growth.
So let me ask you. So do you think
something that you didn't even know you
Yeah, right?
Yes.
Don't you love how these little life
yes,
lessons
yes.
just be coming out?
So it hurts sometimes looking back at
Yeah.
it like, I still wanted to hit, but at the same time I feel it.
Right.
What is it?
Yeah, just maybe one
But I
smashing.
feel it. I'll take it.
Just one, just
Fine.
smash one
Just
time.
Right,
Just
like an
one time.
accidental titty in the
One
mouth.
time.
Right.
A
One
slip
good
and
time.
fall.
Just the tip. Just the tip.
One drunken night, but fine.
Right. So let me ask you, Keba,
Yeah.
is that what you, I know we finished with predictions, but is that what you
Yeah.
think is happening with Rand and Egwene?
That is exactly what I think might happen with Rand and Egwene.
Okay.
And that's what made me, that's the thing that pulled this thread for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because Min was very, as somebody who's a soothsayer. Is that what we said she was?
Well, they
Seer?
said she's not a soothsayer.
That's
Matt
what-
called her that, but yeah.
As somebody who...
She reads the pattern.
I was gonna
Maureen
say,
says she says that she
she's-
reads the pattern.
Right. So bringing it into this world, she understands energy. She can read energy. She can read auras, right? And as somebody who looked at Rand and looked at Egwene, she was like, oh, look at that love. Oh, they love each other.
Right.
Oh, they think that this love is a different kind of love.
It's a romantic love, and it's not.
Yes. And so she's just like, let me go ahead and break it
Right.
to them before they go ahead and ruin
Their lives.
Aw, it's so
yeah,
cute.
you know.
Let me go kill that right
Let me
now.
go. Because that's her man, right?
go ahead and
Let me
kill
go
that
heel
right
toe
now.
stomp all over that.
Damn.
Bankhead bounce.
Shutting this shit down,
Let me
all
go
the way
ahead
down.
and
Aw,
close
you're
that gate
cute.
for them.
Right.
But I think that because, and like I was saying earlier, because Egwene is a bit more logical, and I think Rand is a bit more emotional, which is
Okay.
very interesting, right? Because that's a gender
Well,
reversal.
But you know what I think that is? I think that humans are emotional. I think it's because we're in Rand's head.
Very fair.
That
Fair,
we're
fair,
that
fair.
we have front row seats
Yeah.
to his emotions, whether he displays them or not.
Yeah, that's true. Because on the outside looking in, Egwene is very, A plus B equals C. There's no other way to do this equation. She's very logical. And so I feel like even though she likes Rand and may want to even at some point have a relationship with him, her hearing from Min or whoever she may hear it from, right? Because it may even be from Rand, right? Because again, I feel like Rand fully believes the things that are coming out of her mouth.
Right.
She's going to be hurt. And I feel like they're both going to be hurt when they realize that, we want this, but every time we try to do this, something happens.
Right.
Right? Like, I wanted you to dance with me at the bell time, and my hair's braided, but you was acting like a fool, so now I'm completely unattracted to you today.
A complete ass.
Right. And so, like, every time they look like they're getting ready to try to figure out how to move their relationship forward, something kind of sinks the boat on either end, right? Because even Rand was like, don't come to me with this bullshit braid and single poles. I don't want to hear it today.
Right.
He's
Because
just
I'm not ready to be married.
I'm not ready. Yeah. So it's
Negro, who said I got to marry you?
Right. Something
Come on.
always sinks the boat.
Yeah.
Right. And so I think they're going to get to a point where they're realizing, like, look, like, we really like each other, but it's not working.
Right.
We can't figure it out. And I think it's going to be Egwene, right? Because she seems to be the more logical one. And she's going to be like, it's not working. Go and find your good maiden or whomever.
Because Rand is just a woolhead.
Right. Well, listen, he's a lot of things going on right now. He's about to be bipolar out in these streets.
Yeah,
So, and I think also that might be a big turn off for Egwene, because she's probably not going to understand what's going on fully enough to be able to be like, that's just his taint acting up. Don't mind him.
Right.
She's gonna be like, you acted like an ass today.
Don't mind him.
I don't know what's wrong with you, and you're really pissing me off to high hell. I need you to mountain. You can leave me alone.
You to mountain.
Right. I need you to go ahead and just do it.
Right.
But yeah. So that was the thing that made me pull that thread. This idea of like unrequited love.
Okay.
Right? When you want to love somebody and they want them to love you back, and it's just they're just like, nah, no.
Right.
Gwen is like, I'm focused now. I'm gonna be an Aes Sedai, and I don't see no married Aes Sedai running around here. So it's a no from me, dog. But thank you. Try again next year.
Right. Thanks for playing.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah. So
what about water and shade? You got shade for somebody?
Oh, Matt, you old funky duck.
Oh, your favorite person?
Oh, just squeeze until his eyes pop out. Brain oozes from his ears. Why would you intentionally call attention to yourself and put not just you, but Rand in danger, all because you insist on pulling a prank when you're supposed to be low? And then the crazy part is you don't even have enough balls to come back and save Rand from himself.
Watch the whole thing. Right.
You stay in hiding. So your boy is down there taking heat from the Isrealite whites, and you just like, oh shit, he's gone crazy. You're not even trying to, sorry, he's sick today, or he's got a headache, or he doesn't know he's, special.
Right.
Don't pay him any attention in his play sword. Like he didn't try to save him at all. I have never, like he literally threw a stone and hit his hand. Literally. I've never met a character as annoying as him. I truly hope he gets pulled back to Emmonsfield so the Trollocs can make a mat soup.
Damn.
I simply despise you. And all of these childish antics, and I fully believe that you will be the downfall of the group.
Oh my goodness.
I cannot believe him.
Is that a prediction?
No, that is venting. That is me venting. Because I'm so
Because I was going to write it down.
With him.
Matt will be. No.
You know what? Maybe, just maybe, and this is just an allowed musing.
Okay.
Maybe, just maybe, he too has touched the taint.
Okay.
And that he too is going crazy.
Okay.
Because what would make him think that now is the perfect time to pull a prank on some people that we're not supposed to be fucking with?
Fucking Israelite whites.
Right. So I fully believe, well, I don't fully believe because that would be a prediction, but it's giving, you know what? I got a little crazy in me too.
Right.
And today's going to be the day that I cut up, and Rand's like, well, my crazy recognize your crazy, so let's cut up together.
Let's crazy together.
Yes. So I just, send him back to Emmonsfield on the first horse smoking.
Wow.
I can't with him.
Whoa. Unless anybody has anything else. You got anything else? CallMeNakomi?
Nah, I'm good.
Okay.
Just soaking up the Asinine.
Yes. I think that's my favorite part of this podcast.
It's the Asinine prediction.
Is that the remix?
Oh.
I know, right?
Start doing the Harlem Shake. Oh, I had a...
This
oh my God.
is the
Right. Oh my gosh.
That's why
I love it.
doing the Harlem
I love it. All right. So I guess we can wrap up.
Yes.
We've
get them big ups in there.
Yeah, I got a couple of people I'd like to
Please, let's
big up.
them up.
So the first person I'd like to big up is Lauren from Unraveling the Pattern. Hey, Lauren. So if you're not familiar with Lauren from Unraveling the Pattern, Keba, you can actually watch some of his videos.
Yay! I love
He
this.
is like the master at creating videos that explains Wheel of Time lore.
Perfect.
So he's literally unraveling the pattern for you so you can
Perfect.
understand it. He does have some spoilery stuff, but he has a lot of non-spoilery stuff.
Yay.
So check out his YouTube channel. We will have the links posted. Unraveling the Pattern. Just big up to you, Lauren.
Yay!
And I also just want to shout out a friend of mine
Yes.
who just had us on his podcast the other day. And we are so appreciative. So thank you, Rob.
Yes.
From Malcure Talks for
Rob.
having us on Malcure's wrap up.
Yes,
We truly appreciate. We had a great time, and we'll come back anytime.
Yes.
So shout out to you. We'll
Thank
have
you.
all of your your
Rob.
socials linked up in the episode description.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. And of course, as always, our resident guest, CallMeNakomi.
Period.
Thank you for chilling with us again, back to back.
Thank you very much for having
Thank you for
me.
using
Always
that
a
key,
pleasure.
girl. Because
Yes.
we're not getting up to open the door no more. Just use the key.
Yeah, just use the key, come
Just
right
use
on
the
in.
key. The buzzer is broken, so
Alright.
I use that key.
No problem. And I'll plan not to put my muddy shoes on your white
Oh,
couch.
yeah.
Because don't fuck
Fuck
this
your
Don't
couch.
we still paying it off, okay? That's why the Patreon is up.
Wait, rent a center? We got a rent a center
yes.
couch?
Y'all about to say y'all was talking about furniture.
We were talking about
in
furniture.
the episode, and I was just like in my brain, I was like Siemens furniture.
Siemens
Siemens
furniture.
furniture.
Wait,
Remember?
no, I do not. I'm too young.
You remember it. Don't even act. You
No, thank
remember
you.
Siemens
No, thank
furniture.
you,
Yes,
ma'am.
you
I'm
do.
too
I
young.
Even Tribe Called
Yeah.
Quest on your
Bust
couch.
a nut inside your eye to show you where I'm coming from. Oh no, it's the wrong line, but same
Yes,
thing. Same
yes.
thing.
Same thing, but yeah, same
Yeah.
guy. He was like, bust off on your couch.
Siemens
how you got
furniture.
Siemens
Oh my
Oh,
god.
shout out to
I used to shop
Five.
at Siemens. My family, my mom and them used to shop at Siemens.
Oh my
furniture.
god. Oh, they had money.
They had money.
Oh, they got a lot.
R.I.P. Fife Dog.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, R.I.P.
Yeah. All right. This was so much fun and
Yes.
everything. You want to let the folks know where
Yeah,
they can get it.
yes.
Oh, before I do that,
Yeah.
CallMeNakomi.
Yeah.
Yep.
Are we going to meet you in person in a couple of days?
You should be in a
Oh
few
my
days. I'll be there. Lurking around on the outside.
Yes.
Like I ain't got a ticket to go inside. I'll be at JordanCon. Can't wait
Oh,
to see you
it's gonna be
guys.
so
Can't wait
dope.
We meet you guys in person for the first time.
Yes.
Back again for the first time.
Yes.
We got to do something. We'll figure
Definitely.
something
Looking
out.
forward to it.
We're going to have some sort of content to publish from JordanCon. We're going to do some JordanCon stuff.
Yes.
We'll see. We'll see what that
Absolutely.
is. So shout out to everybody. Safe travels
Yes.
to everybody. Safe travels
Absolutely.
to folks who are coming here from other countries. Safe travels. We can't wait to meet you all. Please holler at us. Shout us
Yes.
out. Come say hi. Remember that Keba's the introvert. So
Yeah.
don't feel offended.
Dude, please don't. I mean, no offense.
None.
But I need a lot of individual time to recharge.
Yes.
So, like,
Yes.
Yes.
And it's going to be...
Trust. I don't think nobody's
It's going to
make
be overwhelming. I'm telling you now. It's going to be a lot of people.
I know.
Yeah. But it's going to be a good time.
Yeah, I hope.
gonna be a good
Listen,
time.
my fingers are
Yeah.
crossed.
Yeah. We're going to have a good time.
Everybody's gonna be real respectful of it,
Yes.
basically. But at the same time, they're not gonna basically be like, "Oh, what's wrong with her?" No, everybody has their own, I don't want to say issues, basically. So they respect your space, basically,
Absolutely.
and let you go and recharge and get your own
Perfect.
space and come back. Because Lord knows, I mean, I was a little off during that time when I went, and I like to believe that no one judged me for going missing in 2 seconds. Because I'd be there 1 second, you turn around, I am
Oh,
gone.
me find me. Absolutely. I'd be like, wow, so I'm so sorry.
Like, yo, she was just here.
And
What
I
the
was,
hell?
and now I'm not. I'm so sorry. Yes.
All right. So
Right now.
where can the people find us, Keba?
Well, before we get into that really quick, I just want to make sure that they know we drop every Wednesday. Y'all should know that by now. And we're going to be discussing chapter 17, Watchers and Hunters, and chapter 18, the Camelin Road.
The Camelin Road.
Camelin. Okay, so I just say that right. Shout out to me.
Shout out to you for pronouncing things right.
Yes, so, hurry up and catch up if you haven't gotten there yet, or if you have gotten there yet, take your notes and follow along with us.
Absolutely.
And in the meantime, and in between time, where you can find us on the social media trinity of Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all at WoT In Color. You can listen and subscribe on everything, right? Spotify, Apple, YouTube, blah, blah, etc., everything. Of course, by searching WoT In Color. And you can come and chat with us on the Discord servers. Thank you so much. It's been so fun. By clicking the link tree in our bio or in the description box below. If you have any questions or you want to personally address us or anything, much like our other listener, listener, you can send us an email over at wotincolor@gmail.com. We check that. We be over there and we will respond, and we love to respond. So send us some nice, encouraging, kind words over there too. Yes.
So thank you so much for listening to WoT In Color. Remember, as always, to come in love or go in peace.
Just don't let the wheel, whatever. Just don't let the wheel run you over on the way out.
Deuces.
Don't let the good wheel split you.
Don't let the good wheel hit you with the good Lord split you. Amen, somebody. Happy Easter.
Amen. Ashe.
All right.
And we out.
Bye.